Welcome to King of the Castle, stream number 5. Hey. Excuse me. Okay. Overshade's here. Yeah, today is a bit late. I played some video games with my little brother because he was asking me. And then we went to go get food. Welcome here, though. Sorry for being late. Overshade is here. The third. Ruru's here also. Heyo. How are you? Yeah, we got Overshade and Ruru. Two most dedicated nobles. Good to have y'all. How are y'all doing today? Still one of the most richest people. You two. Ruru has 14,000. You have 12,000. Though you spent a lot Overshade. So you guys are super rich. Old money. But you guys made it. We're playing as Queen Amelia. She was a count, I'm pretty sure, right? After the revolution. That was fun. No, I actually enjoyed the revolution. It was pretty entertaining. Rue says, I'm doing pretty good. Met up with some friends on the weekend. Might DM some role-playing games. Oh, okay. Oh, that'd be fun. That sounds good. I didn't do too much on the weekend. What did I do? I guess I stayed home. I hung out with my family a bit. I think I streamed on Sunday after church. But it was like I was trying to do something that was besides King of the Castle. You know, yeah, mostly slept. I'm there with Overshade. Probably mostly slept. Wasn't very active. That's how I enjoy my weekends. No, it's great that you met with some friends on the weekend, Ruru. Nice. And if we could get some more role-playing games in here, that'd be cool. No, yesterday night I actually played some Hearts of Iron. That was kind of fun. I streamed a bit of that, but it was a bit rough. And we were playing a World War I mod. It was France, and I didn't do too good at the beginning, but we had this Hungarian Habsburg dude joined in. No, might join. And it was pretty good. Then he helped me turn it around. Oh, he's from the Paradox. Yeah, it's from Paradox. Oh, no news here. Okay, no new might join. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Is here too. Welcome. Nice to have y'all. I guess we can begin the game. All right. Oh, we got another count. Oh my gosh, how many counts? Yo, Silvano. I'm gonna call you Kyo. You joined the counts. The counts is super bloated. How dare you spoil my joining? Oh. No, it's good to have you. Okay, let's decide coordination. Your Majesty, you may have won the throne from King Rhonda II, but you must still answer to the council. Okay, so last time we had a rebellion, which was pretty epic. That was awesome. The legacy people come in, council will be overbloated indeed. Oh yeah, insane. As is tradition, they will decide what happens at your coronation. Let's get this over with. Shall we call the nobles in? So what kind of coronation should be held for the new queen? We can require that everyone wear black and listen to dreary Eastern music because our queen is from the counts. We could force the commoners to swear a blood oath. That's kind of fun. We could throw the queen into the river. Or we could say the nobles must put on a vast banquet for the queen. Yeah. Want to meme and go A? Whatever you guys want. I was actually thinking that I'll let you guys decide. I have no preference. The March hasn't won once yet, have they? Overshade? Or I'm not sure if they've had a single person get into power or win their objectives. This time I'm kind of rooting for the March to do something. Have we thrown the monarch into the river in this dynasty? Have we? I don't think so. Okay, so we're throwing me into the river. I see what's happening. Voting is closed. It is decided. The queen will be thrown into the river. Okay, stability of civil authority is now dubious. Let me get changed out of my nice robes. The nobles pick you up and carry you out to the Treadwater River, hurling you into the shallow water with a cheer. You climb back up to the bank, soaking wet. The Chancellor steps forwards and places the crown upon your head. Is it your imagination or some of the nobles' stifling giggles? I don't think I've had that before, so that's fun. I like that coronation. Getting thrown into a river. Council introduction. Here's Ruru. Events have proceeded exactly according to plan. The throne is ours. Now just remember our agreement. In all matters of state, you shall favor the East. The East is supreme. Very good. Now introduce yourself to the rest of the council, but don't forget what I told you today. So now let's go to the partitions. Everyone but the barons have won this dynasty, I see. I was thinking of maybe giving Overshade a couple bribes for me in. So if he wanted to, he could redeem him and be like, okay, king, I want you to pick this to veto or this to do whatever. Would that be fair to y'all? If we gave Overshade some authority over the king a couple times? Just like points that he could redeem, basically. Hey, Combo Lurker's here. Welcome, Combo Lurker. Ruru says that's fair. What do you think, Overshade? Do you need the help, or do you want to do this on your own? No news here. A pleasure, your august majesty. I hope to see our kingdom prosper and grow wealthy under your reign. Here's Overshade. Hail and well met, your highness. Under your leadership, we'll whip this kingdom into shape. Without the introductions are done. The council hall immediately fills with raised voices. Meanwhile, here's Kyo. What do you think? Will she be a good little queen and do what she's told? Here's Ruru. Too early to tell. We should have a backup plan just in case. Might need the help later. Okay. Okay. I'll give you... Okay. I'll give you 2 redeems, Overshade. You can use those 2 redeems on any decision of mine. You just do like exclamation redeem, and if I see it, I'll be like, okay, I'll go against my judgment and follow you. Is that okay? It might help later. Path to victory. I need to choose. Your Majesty, the history books do not look kindly upon usurpers, unless of course they prove themselves worthy to the throne they have stolen. When you die, how do you hope the kingdom will remember you? By the way, Combo, thanks for taking the bullet at the end of the last game. For Combo, he got executed because he was the leader, technically. Has Combo died yet? He's the second. I'm not sure if he technically died from the ending, right? When you die, how do you hope the kingdom will remember you? We went military last time. So we could... We did... I don't think we've done Peacekeeper yet. I'm the Baron leader. It's my job to take responsibility. Oh, Combo Lurker's ready. He'll take the responsibility. That all the over. Okay, that's funny. I might go stability this time, or we can go the greatest queen who ever lived. Otter is joined. Welcome, Otter. Valinor. That's a cool name. So hard to get Faith up because the Archbishop. Yeah, dude, I hate the Archbishop. I don't care about Faith. I tried to, but it's hard. I died to Medusi thing. Oh, right. Yeah, I remember that. The statue. Yeah, welcome, Otter. Okay. Well, I guess I don't like stability as a goal because we don't really keep stability in the next king, right? Or do we? Trade would be easy. But I think we'll go stability. I'm gonna personally RP first. Okay. Alright. Rue's gonna go Faith. She's still going her Faith route. I'm gonna go stability, because I don't think I've done that yet. An admirable aim. I suggest over the next few years you focus on improving the kingdom's stability as much as possible. Once you have an heir, I will return to discuss how your ambition is progressing. Good luck, Your Majesty. Okay. In the season. Marty of the Combo Lurker bloodline, Sinister Marcher General, stands before a blazing hearth yelling at full volume. When have the barons of the March backed down from a fight? Never. I'll know you'll do whatever it takes to put me, your rightful monarch, on the throne. They go together for faith, that my house is irredeemable. You guys want to go for faith this time? Overshade. What did the Marchers think? Who's the Marchers? Yeah, Overshade and Combo Lurker. Otter joined the Patricians. Can pick the scheme, says Combo Lurker. They can do Doppelganger, which will lower own defiance. Modernization, which will lower others' military. Propaganda, which will lower stability. I'll let you guys choose. Doppelganger sounds kind of fun. Lower your own defiance. You wouldn't want to go against me. That'd probably be an easy, I guess, Vic. Overshade's going to A for Doppelganger. No, I think Combo Lurker's just gonna let him vote for that. So we'll continue. The barons plan to swap the real queen for a perfect doppelganger. First, they must gain the trust of the spy master. To advance their scheme, the barons must keep defiance to 4 or less in 4 seasons. 4 or less, right? They got that in the bag, probably. Unless I do something to make them mad. Byanka of the Ruru dynasty, legendary Eastern prodigy, leans delicately on a podium, sighing. Most excellent, Amelia now sits the throne, and the counts are in charge as they should be, but the other regions will already be scheming to depose her. Isn't there an add-on thing that lets players see their current scheme? Oh, is there? I can look it up. Discovery. King of the Castle. I don't see one. If it is, it's not terribly popular. If you could get the name for it, I can look it up. Yeah, yes, she does. She looks pretty cool. Yes. Okay. I'm looking for it. Showcase support. No. I don't see it right from just searching it up in the extensions. But if you could get the name for it, you could probably get that in there. Do we stay loyal to the new queen or cut our losses and put me on the throne instead? So the counts can go loyalist, which is aid the queen, since they put me on the throne. They can go uprising, which is to raise the treasury. Possession, which would lower their own defiance. So which one do they want to go? Their defiance is 0 right now. So they could go for a defiance thing. Kyo is going uprising, I'm pretty sure. Okay. So Rue is letting Kyo decide then. He's going to go uprising. Raise the treasury. That's nice of Rue. Okay. Indeed, a mere few months in the palace, and it looks as though the Queen Amelia has forgotten our ways already. Okay. I, on the other hand, will never betray the East. Sure. The counts plan to incite a peasant uprising to overthrow the queen before swooping in to steal the throne for themselves. To advance their scheme, the counts must raise the treasury to 2,000 or more in 2 seasons. Patricians. Avis, of the Otter of Nor family, eccentric coastal entrepreneur, scribbles with a well-used quill on a hardwood desk, explaining in measured prose. Fellow patricians of the coast, my claim to the throne is far more legitimate than that of Queen Amelia. Something must be done. It's King of the Castle extension. Oh shoot, I'm stupid. Sorry, wait. Okay, no, you're right. I don't have it enabled. I have it already. I thought you were talking about a different one. Oops, that's my fault. There, I put it on. That's so stupid. Because we typically have it on, but I did my streams. I did a different stream earlier, so I turned it off. But I completely forgot about it. Alright, what do the patricians want to do? They can do intimidation, conspiracy, or corruption. What do you guys want? Otter's going for conspiracy. To lower the treasury, which is a direct counter to the counts. No one who wants to do intimidation, which is raise stability, which is what I want too. So that would go along with my goal. Who are the patricians? Donu and Otter. Okay. You guys are kind of split on this. Combo Lurker is joining. Or, I thought he was already in. Sorry, I forgot to put the extension on. Okay. Well, I guess I choose now for you guys. Oh no, it randomly picked. Okay, conspiracy. It went for Otters to lower the treasury. With the extension just in case. Okay, that's a good combo lurker, just in case. The patricians plan to sink the queen under an ocean of debt. To advance their scheme, the patricians must lower the treasury to 1,500 or less in 3 seasons. So, you have to have more than 2,000. You have to have lower than 1,500. Okay. I'm not going to be able to keep a delicate balance between those, so I'm not going to care. Okay. We can go for Golden Choice or Royal Gamble. I think you guys like Golden Choice, so I'll go for that. I want Royal Gamble next, though. Yeah, Rue is also joining just in case. Alright, Barons, let's go. Mythic Priest, welcome. How are you? You are part of the Barons. Okay. Now the extension will keep up eventually. Okay. We can. There's a call for apprentices. Is this another wizard event? You're all right. Hey, that's good. That's good. Mythic Priest is here. Bad news, Your Highness. A meddling wizard has set up shop in Brusseldorf. I believe it is Pestia, the Lady of Pestilence. Let me more about this wizard. Wizards have managed to tame creation itself. They wield untold power and are naturally distrusted by the church. Even the High Inquisitor wouldn't dare move against them openly. More wizards, says Combo Lurker. I wonder if the wizard's going to be of the Counts again. Is it always the Counts? Oh, shizzle. Pestia. Yeah. Overshade says, Mystic Priest, we work together with the Counts to raise faith. Yes, the Barons and the Counts seem to want to go for a faith thing this time for some reason. Just to raise faith. We haven't had really much faith in the kingdom. Mythic Priest says, hey, Combo. Long time no see. Wizards haven't done much. Yeah, they haven't. I want more wizard stuff. Pestia has influence over plagues, diseases, insects, and horde things like that. Should we have a wizard learn under them? She's put out a call for new apprentices, which is a rare event. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for many. Droves of unwashed, glory-seeking common folk from all over the march are lining up for their chance. Not just peasants, here's Otter, the patrician. I, Otter of Valinor, have also decided to apply. The competition will be fierce, but those workers are no match. I will be the most powerful noble this council's ever seen. You couldn't put your clothes on if it wasn't for your servants' help, says Mythic Priest. We're both barons again, says Commonwealth. Yeah. The church is against wizards. Not sure. Doesn't sound like the High Inquisitor likes them, but you can be religious wizards. How complicated your clothes are, says Otter. Otter. Doesn't really give a good look at him. High Inquisitor, definitely. Yeah, the High Inquisitor is such a stick in the mud. Conflict how? Wizards answer only to themselves. Mythic Priest, thanks for following, man. I appreciate it. Their power is unmatched, such that entire kingdoms cannot stand against them. Even an apprentice on the council would be disastrous. Noble Petition Otter of Valinor could use magic to interfere with votes, or you for that matter. We shall assemble the council. Cheers, my liege. Okay, so we can allow the Noble Petition Otter Valinor to become the Pestia, or become Pestia's apprentice, which we've done that every time we've had a wizard so far. We can require that they forfeit their noble title in order to become an apprentice, or we can forbid Otter Valinor from traveling to Brusseldorf. Also, it would be the third time the march gets slightly screwed over by a wizard apprentice. That is true. They're probably gonna die again. Wanna screw with Pats? Says Ruru. Mythic says he's voting C. Mythic does not want a wizard, unless there's a golden choice. Ruru wants to go C as well. So she doesn't want... Mythic Priest, you're a Baron. Overshade, do you have an opinion? You are part of the march. This could be a potential death for you. Wizards haven't done much. I'm skeptical. All have they really done is killed marchers. Oh, Oshini? Welcome. Or is it Oshini? Welcome. You are a... I'm Baron. Okay, we need more Barons. That's good. Welcome. Good to have you. Yeah, that's why I dislike them. Okay. We'll put a golden choice on C then. If you want money, kick out this wizard. I should have asked Otter, actually. I will be different, says Otter. Okay. If you believe in Otter, go A. You don't have to have money. I'm sorry, Otter. They're gonna prevent you from becoming a wizard. It's once in a lifetime, never seen. The march is the majority of the game. Yeah. Nearly every time we start the new games, there's been like a wizard every time. Otter wants A. Okay, we got 8 nobles. 5. It looks like all of them have voted. Sadly, Otter will not become a apprentice. That was probably my fault. I should have done it without a golden choice. I'm sorry, Otter. Cheers, Your Highness, for not bowing down to this power-hungry fool. Now, if you excuse me, I must deal with this troublesome wizard. Says Mythic Priest. Are we gonna fight the wizard? So a noble can't even enter into a years-long blood pact to become a all-powerful demigod without the council's approval? Whatever happened to so-called freedom? The coast is angry. Pestia's presence in Brusseldorf attracts all sorts of visitors, though the power of her latent magic starts to wilt crops for miles around. Okay. Maybe. Okay. A new trend. Lord Patrician Nonu is here to see you, Your Majesty. He wants to sell you a crab. A crab. Tell me more about this crab. Of course he does. It's the latest trend among the coast, Your Majesty. The patricians have started keeping a species of jeweled crab as a fashionable pet. That sounds amazing. The creatures are so rare that one can now sell them for as much as a mansion. What? No, not the crabs. I want crabs. I mean, I want a crab, not crabs. Very well, Cinnamon. Thank you for seeing me, Your Majesty. I know the price is steep, but I assure you these crabs will only go up in value. Oh. I want crabs. Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? In session after getting a Marcher Monarch. Yeah. The Marchers need some love too. Oh yeah, I'll take the bribe. I want crab. I want to buy a box of crabs. Okay. So that will still be in the partition's favor. We'll be in kind of like a bankruptcy range, but I'll take the crabs. Counting out your gold, Lord Patrician Nonu assures you you will not regret your purchase. So Nonu gained a lot of gold. And I gained crab. As is tradition, each region offers a selection of elite guards. The counts with their knights of the Order of the Drowned Rose, the patricians with their champion gladiators from the arena, and the barons offer a squad of battle-hardened veteran soldiers. It's okay, you can just cool tax the patricians to make up for it. I don't necessarily want to do that. But fortunately, we can't recruit the coastal gladiators. There's been a major scandal, accusations of match fixing and fake blood spilled in the arena. Oh. They won't come to the capital until this blows over. You'll need to pick someone else. Okay. The only thing you need is crabs. Crabs are fun. So, tell me about the Eastern Knights. No one knew the crabs, actually. No, not the crabs. The Order of the Drowned Rose are highly respectable. They'll understand palace etiquette, but it's been years since they fought in actual battle. They mostly write poems these days. These soldiers have fought more battles than they've had hot dinners. They'll be uncouth, no doubt, and won't adapt to life in the palace, but they're loyal and tough as nails. He wants to be bodyguards. Jay said, Overshade says, my uncle went bankrupt after buying some crabs from Nonu. The Eastern Knights are too busy listening to My Chemical Romance to fight. But the veterans are totally, yeah, the veterans are kind of cool. I wait your verdict with bated breath, Your Majesty. Can't hire mercenaries. Might do the march. Give me some cool guys. Oh, what? Someone is supposed to talk here, but I don't think... That's odd. Kyo says choose Eastern. The ghost disagreed. Yeah. Oh no, there's voices talking to me. Blank. Exclamation point. There's a comma in the middle of that. How could you choose them? I'll make arrangements at once. The veterans arrive a few weeks later. They march into the throne room in perfect formation before lining up behind your throne. Hands on their sword hilts. Each soldier has sports a bigger scar than the last. Okay, we'll end the season. Okay, we can start an auction. No one cares about farming or trade. Military and the counts would be kind of fun. More military, they'd be 8. Lower faith. No one really... That doesn't really mean anything. Increase faith in the patrician territory. I mean, it's 0 right now. Or we can raise stability. It doesn't... I guess the only thing you guys would vote for would be like military or something. I don't know. Or stability? I don't know. That's weird. Millennium's here. Ruru says cathedral it is. She's gonna increase faith. That's her thing. Mystic Priest puts 1 in E. He's funding a cathedral with 1 gold. Hi there. Welcome back, Millennium. The poet. The poet is here. Ruru is funding E with 168. Kyo funds E with 1. An aqueduct is being funded with 1 too. Oh. Fortress is now being funded. The aqueduct again. A and E, says Overshade Shadow to Ruru. Excuse me. Yeah, that's just good increase stuff. Alright, time is up. Let's see what we have. So the cathedral was funded, which increases faith within the patrician territory. Ruru funded the most for that, 298. She wants to spread the faith. An aqueduct was funded in the Baron's territory, and the most mythic priest spent the most on it, spending 171 gold. Nice. Okay. Bankruptcy looms. We'll pick that after this. The donor. Here's Ruru. Greetings, Your Highness. I can't help but notice your treasury is running a little low. I, on the other hand, have so much gold that I can't walk around without clinking. That is true. Ruru is probably the richest person here, right with Overshade right behind her. So, what's your proposition, Ruru? Never seen this event? Yeah. It's been a tough year. Ruru says, I have money. You have power. Perhaps we can be of use to each other. Greedy merchants in the March have been undercutting our iron prices. That's the East's key import. Could you increase the tax on iron in the March, just by enough to drive their prices higher than ours? Call a council session if you must. Push the vote in my favor, and I'll make a substantial and totally unrelated donation to the treasury. Bellsteel, yeah. They're old money, Mythic Priest. They've been here for a while. It says, also a Marcher Monarch. Ask Ruru. Okay. It's a deal. Let's call it to a vote. Most pleasing. So we can raise tax on the iron cells in the March, or don't change the existing law. Barons vote against this outrage of the free market, says Mythic Priest. If I do Golden Choice, you guys will also get money from this. The oldest money. Yeah, Overshade is the oldest money, pretty much. I mean, there's a couple other people. But they don't have as much money as him. Both our trades are at 10, that is true. Yeah, that may change up trade a little bit. I'm going to put Golden Choice on A, but you guys can choose what you want. I'll start. Mythic's going B. Kyo is going A. Overshade is also going B. He wants to protect his trade. Oshni going B. Combo Lurker, Kyo, Ruru, and Otter is going A. Resist the bribe, says Mythic. Combo Lurker fell for the bribe. He's like, I want money. Okay. We have 2 more people, I think. Combo the betrayal. Millennium just went A. Alright, so it looks like A is going to be passed. Raise the tax on iron cells in the March. By the 9th, is this what the council has been reduced to? Taking bribes from greedy profiteers? I like taking bribes. Thank you, Ruru. Oceania is upset. Quiet, you. The rich people are talking. The rich people are talking. That's funny. Thank you for this, Your Highness. I appreciate having a queen with common sense. Sell you out. Quite ironic. Yeah. Okay, let's... Bankruptcy looms. Your Majesty, I had booked this meeting intending to discuss our financial woes, but you solved that issue on your own. Yep. I took a bribe. Congratulations on digging us out of that dismal financial pit. Yeah, I messed up the Defiance. Defiance of the Patricians is kind of high. Counts went down. Yeah, the Barons aren't happy with this. They want to have the lowest Defiance in 3 seasons. So they want to bring the counts up and bring them down. Or just bring them down. I think will work. And a spouse. Rue says treasury increased to above 99. So yeah. But bankruptcy event got cancelled. We don't get another event this season though. Yeah. Your Majesty, it's important you find a spouse sooner rather than later. I'll take the liberty of finding an eligible candidates. What is your preference? Minimum? I'll take any. Thank you, Your Majesty. I'll send out messengers to see the most influential noble families of the kingdom. Let's see what they have to offer. Here's Millennium Star. It's easy enough decision. You'll marry into the counts, as we agreed before you took the throne, right? Right? Okay. In the season. Discontent on the rise. Perched atop a hill in a remote eastern wilderness sits a dark, tree castle. Atop the tallest tower, Count Kyo and his co-conspirators can be found deep in their cups. It is not enough, says Kyo. The peasants couldn't care less about the queen or her hoarded wealth. How are we supposed to incite an uprising in this climate? Rue says, we should start by ensuring the queen actually has some wealth to flaunt. Yeah, give me more bribes, please. A shame, the queen seems determined to be destitute. All stir, says Mythic Priest. Or steer. Whispering to Her Majesty, choose the marcher spouse. Okay, yes sir. Yes sir, Urvushade. Yeah, maybe stop being so corrupt. Dude, shows the counts are up. That's what they're about. Never. Alright, so we can do some taxes. My wealth will be 140. Accounts want it to be at least 2,000. The patricians want it to be at least 1,500 or less. So, if I were to cruel tax somebody, like the counts say, I'd be at 1,700, which would be in between the counts and the patricians. Me? All my wealth was legally gained. The audacity. Yeah. Sure, you're not corrupt, Ruru. Or Shade says, martyr loyalty might be bought, Your Majesty. You want me to buy your loyalty? Yo says, don't, so cruel. If I were to buy... Yes, with a bribe the barons will come to your side. Maybe. How can I cast shade on the counts for bribing the king if we're bribing the... Yeah. I'll be in bankruptcy range once again if I bribe the barons. But maybe Ruru can offer me some more money, so I'm kind of fine with that. Does anyone have any input? Cruel text account, says Mythic Priest. I kind of want to. Do the accounts want to be cruel text? No, says Kyo. Bribe the barons. I'm willing to bribe the barons. But it's still up to negotiation. Kyo says, do you want money for the next auction? Leave the counts alone, says Kyo. Yeah, Kyo does not want a cruel tax at all. Tell me what you want, I'll invest twice your current gold. Says Ruru. Ruru is willing to double Kyo's stuff. Sai has joined. Welcome, Sai. Don't listen to Kyo, they are bad for you. Counts are fine as they are, says Overshade. Hey, we'll do this then. Defiance in the March is now loyal. We have wizard troubles. More troubles in Brussels Dwarf, my liege, says Mythic Priest. Ever since Pestia took up residence to train her princesses, people have been getting sick. I'll assemble the council. Cheers, Your Highness. Okay, so Pestia is doing stuff in Brussels Dwarf. We can assemble the militia to push her out, which with the military of 6, we have a 45% chance of doing. We can gift Brussels Dwarf to Pestia permanently, just give her a city. Or a village. Burn the witch, says Mystic Priest. See, if I was a wizard, I could deal with this, says Otter True. We can let Pestia continue as she wishes, which will lower trade, but increase defiance within the barons. The barons don't want that. So we can either gift it, or assemble. If we gifted it, it would also raise defiance. The barons don't want that either. Barons... Mystic says, barons vote A. Do we have to vote A, barons? Looks like it. I don't really like plagues. I don't like plagues either. So I think we should get rid of it. No. Everything is bad. Yeah, Overshade. Everything is bad. I think we might just have to take the chance. Push her out. Golden choice it. I think that's how we're gonna have to do this. We're gonna have to do an XCOM. See what you guys decide. Money? Oh, that makes the choice easy. Yeah. Do not sell out, says Overshade. He votes A. No. We're going A. We're gonna push her out. Literally just watch someone win a 15% chance on the win of the game. Really, that sounds amazing. Oh, that's an X. I believe the Marcher Cavalry charge can get to her. Oh. To everyone's great surprise, the suicidal mission actually works. Whether Pestia was truly afraid or simply couldn't be bothered to fight, you'll never know. March 1. Yay, hey you. Yeah, we did it. Heyo. Regardless, she and her princesses clear out of Brusseldorf when they see the troops coming. Defiance can't go any lower, and authority is now credible. Hopefully you haven't just made a powerful enemy. Ooh, Wizard Wars. I knew that would win, says Overshade. Good job, Overshade. Crab features. I think Priest says yes. He says, Sea Otter, you would have been made to run. Ooh. You're gonna have to get rid of them. The crab craze has swollen to unforeseen heights, Your Majesty. That's good, isn't it? The trade is so profitable that patricians are shutting down textile mills to focus on crab catching. Thousands are unemployed. Oh, that's not good. But who cares about that, Your Majesty, says Nonu. Your box of crabs is now worth nearly double what you paid for it. Should we sell? Or hold your nerve and hold on to the crabs? I did not vote for money. Ban them. What? Crabs? Ban, says Overshade. He wants to ban the crabs. Sell. Ban, says Overshade. You want to ban the crabs? Drop the ban hammer, says Mystic. Why do you guys want to... I don't know, the crabs, like, do you like how they taste? Or my bankrupt uncle ban them. Okay, Overshade says ban. Wait, if I ban them, I won't get my money, though. You want me to be bankrupt? Honestly, I want to see what happens. No guts, no money. I have no money. I do want some money. Should I just make it illegal? Better than Crash. Sell. They are so cute. I want to sell them. I think I should just sell. Ain't Crash, just patricians. Is there any reason to ban them besides, losing my money? Or not, being able to sell? Sell or ban? Okay, I'm gonna sell. I need that money. If you sell it, it will help the counts. If you don't, it will help the patricians. Oh, I see. I'm gonna sell. You sell your crabs for much more than you paid. The treasurer appears satisfied with your practicality. But you want to see what the ban event's... Okay, I'm sorry, Mystic Priest. If we get this event next time, we'll do the ban option. Trade is now wealthy in the coast. Eligible option. I have found 3 potential matches for you. 1 eligible young candidate from each of the kingdom's 3 regions. Choose wisely and you'll be securing a powerful alliance. Yes, I know. Chancellor leads you to a great hall where they're arranged a portrait on easels. For now, each is covered by cloth. Oh, you even get to read them. Okay. They whisk away the cloth from the first portrait. This is Vostok, the eldest son of the Eastern Millennium Star Dynasty. In his youth, he ran off and tried to join a circus. They found him in the end, thank the ninth. Frag Enjoyer has joined. Welcome, Frag. He bought a controlling interest in silver mine in the east and made a killing. He's obsessed with his family's legacy. That's cool. Intriguing candidate. He's a count. I remember you said you would choose the march. Yeah, Overshade got me. I did promise him I would. From the coast, we have Hurana, the wealthy heiress to Lord Patrician Frag's estate. Frag enjoys estate. We just look at her. She's gorgeous, and apparently she's got a silver tongue too. Her interests are typical money, and making more of it. She's said to be led by her passions, living in the moment with no thought of her reputation. And finally, we have the March's offering. Katja, a scion of the prestigious mythic priest bloodline. A typical baron, really. Loud, brash, and self-absorbed, but mostly well-meaning. Like most barons, their great passion is hunting. No beast is safe from the crossbow. Give them half a chance and they'll expound at length on how we should improve the lot of the peasants. Mind if I join? Hey, we are Alfia. How do you say your name? Alfarius? We are Alfarius. Welcome. I have a distant kin in the coast. Yeah, you can join. Join Alfarius. That handsome guy. You'd be a great lover, says Mythic Priest. Okay. Yeah, welcome. Warhammer fan now? Yeah, Alfarius, isn't he like, I forget who that is. Sounds like a laugh. Okay. I said I was gonna go Baron time. So we're going March. Excellent, I'll make the arrangements. Okay. The coast is getting angry again. They might do another rebellion. We'll see. Awesome. End the season. In a dingy seaside tavern, two patricians of the coast meet to plot their latest scheme. Here's Otter. Terrible news, the kingdom prospers. The treasury's practically overflowing. Keep authority up so they can't rebel. Okay, Mythic Priest, if you say so. We are Afarius, or it says, I am an absolute fan of Warhammer. Okay. I like Warhammer too, but I'm not. I play mostly fantasy, so I don't know all the 40k stuff. I expect the new queen to be competent, says Nonu. Nobody did. We must work harder to bankrupt her. The patrician's aim is to lower the treasury to 1500 or less. What? We've never rebelled, says Sai. Yes, Sai. Alright. You've never rebelled before. Look at that last game, right? I particularly have a purpose, and it ain't the claimants, even though she's from my family. So sorry, Count, says Ruru. Ruru has her own interest in mind. Back in the east, a secret cadre of counts have met at Count Kyo's keep once more. A blood-red wine is passed around merrily as they discuss the recent success. Mythic Priest says, I tried one time to get into Warhammer lore, and it was just overwhelmed. With how much there is, it's kind of hard for me to get into it, but played a couple games that were fun. Yeah, I'd like to play some more. I've never played a game, but besides, you know, the Total War Fantasy Warhammer, but I'd like to play some of the 40k online, or 40k board game. It's just so much, there's a lot of lore, and Games Workshop kind of sells their pieces for quite a bit. And then you have to paint them too. You have to invest a lot of money into it, I think. I don't know, I've never done it. Here's Kyo. The peasants are getting rowdy, and it's all thanks to us. Now that they know how much their wealth the queen is hiding, they're itching to get rid of her. Welcome, Federo. Welcome, it's good to have you. I have 123 novels for 40k, you're kidding me! That's a ton! Man, we are Afarius. He is like Lore King. Harlequins are the only sensible choice. Oh, also, I wouldn't get into the tabletop game since I'm terrible at painting minifigs. Oh, yeah. No, I am not. You're not? Ruru says, careful, we don't want to get them too riled up, mind you, or they'll start asking questions about our wealth as well. They really should ask questions about Ruru's wealth, yeah. The in-joke in the Warhammer community is that crack is cheaper. Yeah. Plastic crack, that's what it is. Otter says the pieces are expensive. If you don't like painting them, then it probably isn't for you, I see. Our friends that have more than me. Oh, really? That 123 novels sounds like a ton. That's a lot of lore. Yes, now it's time to incite some real chaos. Show them that Queen Amelia is not only greedy, she's utterly incompetent too. For the next stage of their schemes, the counts must lower stability to 4 or less in 4 seasons. Your kids into tabletop games and they'll never have money for drugs. Mystic Priest is right. Ooh, roll the gamble. I'm taking that. Get rid of Monarch's vote. I like money. Okay, Tithe Trouble. Let's try that first. I haven't seen that. Archbishop, Your Highness, I've come to submit a complaint about the Counts of the East. Lately, they've been neglecting their tithes. What's a tithe? All the counts are obligated to donate 1/8 of their monthly income to the church. If they want to stay out of the 7 hells when they die, that is. Okay, so it's like one of those, what is it? What is it? You pay for what are those things were called? Where you're pardoned from going to heaven. You're pardoned for your sins, so you have to pay the church in order to go into heaven or something like that. I forget what that's called. Correct. I'm constantly broke. Oh. Overshade says, did the discussion fall into Warhammer Rep? Oh yeah, I kind of did. Tithes. I am not a debt collector. Ruru says, whoops, I guess I forgot to pay my taxes for the last 25 years or such. Not much. It's more like a tax that the church charges. Yeah, kind of seems like that. Who do you think the common folk will blame if the church starts failing? Me? No, Your Highness, they'll blame you alone. Ah, Archbishop. I don't think the common folk care too much about faith. Used to not. Especially if I tell my priest to spread the word that you refuse to help a holy man in need. Oh, you little... fine, I'll help. Okay. Well, this is lower faith, lower defiance, lower stability, and lower authority. Fine, I'll help. Think. Okay, to go to heaven, not go to hell. Indulgences, yeah, that's what it's called, Ruru. I'll help. The worst offender is Count We Are Afarius. He hasn't paid his tithe in years. He probably can't. He's spending all of his money on plastic crack. I want an example to be made of him. Okay, so we're gonna vote, Council. We can order the counts to pay their tithes in full, which will up defiance in the coast, or not the coast, the east, and it'll lower wealth and increase faith. F the tithe, says We Are Farius. Rui says, hence why I will pay the church. Rui, okay. He's in character. Overshade says, I did like the TTS series. Rui says, I will vote A. She says, damn, he just joined. Otter, let the counts play in their figures, yeah. Leave the counts alone, says Kyo. Vote A, Barons. East March A, please guys, I don't have enough. Says We Are Fairies. He doesn't want to get taxed. We could say toss the counts We Are Farius into the dungeon as an example to the rest, which will increase stability, which is cool. Lower wealth and increase faith. The count should be exempt from paying tithes. Defiance will go kind of wonky. Faith will decrease. Money will increase. Stability will decrease. Authority will decrease. I don't like that thing. I think we should go... You guys are kind of going A. To the tax bridge. And we're going to increase... Okay. I'm going to put golden choice on A. So you'll make your money back. Basically, I'm paying you to do this. I got an idea, says Ruru. Yo. What's your idea, Ruru? Barons who don't want to get taxed. Talk to me now, says Ruru. Vera Ferry says, I will abstain from voting in goodwill. Okay. That makes sense. What's up, says the Mythic Priest. What is Ruru? What's her idea? Sorry, I meant counts that don't want to get taxed here. Oh, not the barons. Okay. She's talking to Afarius and Kyo. Yeah. Mythic Priest is like, start the vote. I don't care. I'll let Ruru talk and try to convince her fellow counts. I will invest 600 gold into whatever you do for the next building stage. As long as you guys vote A. Okay. Deal, says Afarius. Alright, I'll just start the voting then. Yeah, they both agreed. Ruru wants to increase faith. That's her thing. Okay, everyone's pretty much voted A. Golden choice will give him some money. Alright, continue. Voting is closed. By the blood of the dead! How are we to bear the brunt of all this tithing and taxation? I'm left with scarcely enough money to keep my horses, his toy horses. Um, he's now grumbling, and now some of the count's wealth has decreased. The counts grumble, but the archbishop is grateful for your support. The church grows in the east. Faith is now irrelevant. Escaped experiment. You better keep your promise, Ruru. Says that we are Afarius. Okay, got it noted down, says Ruru. Master says, apparently something has escaped from the cellars of We Are Afarius' castle. I've asked for an eyewitness report from the local. Peasant. Hello, your majesty. It was a right unholy sight. A monster stitched together from parts dug up from the village cemetery. I recognized my Aunt Edna's earlobes. Oh. Justinian joined. I'm pretty sure that's how you say your name. He joined the barons, I think. No, he was thrown into the patricians. Burn it? Not again. Welcome, man. It's good to have you. The patricians have a lot of people now. Redoro and Frag is also there. Did it hurt anyone? No, it just seemed confused. Kept asking for its father. Here is We Are Afarius. This creature is my life's work, your majesty, and my son. You can only pick your faction at the very beginning screen for a new dynasty. Oh, says Mythic Priest. So you are a patrician. Tarnt, leave us alone, says Kyo. His escape was regrettable. He just wanted to see the village up close, rest assured. I have chained him up far more securely in my dungeon to ensure this won't happen again. It's too late for that, Count. You and your unholy creation must be burned. It is the only way to cleanse this world of your evil. So we're another vote. We can burn both We Are Afarius and his monster, which will increase defiance but increase faith and stability. We can burn the monster but let the Count live, which will increase defiance, increase faith, decrease stability. You'd say the monster must live as long as it stays in prison, which will lower defiance, lower stability, lower faith, lower authority. Or we could say free the monster. What are you guys thinking? Oceania says, when did you become Frankenstein? To Afarius. Ruru asks, oh no, I'm forced to choose between my fellow Count's baby and the High Inquisitor. You could go, yeah, basically, Ruru. Overshade says, go B, Ruru? Yeah, Millennium says, go B. Oceania says, B, Barons? Barons vote A, says Mythic Priest. The baby says Ruru. Or C, says Oceania. Barons B, burn, alright. Barons also need low stability for their scheme, that is true. Pretty sure. Maybe, we'll see. She says, don't, as it's been a few years. Red, purple, B. So that a lot of people want to go B, which will let the Count live, burn the monster. It'll increase faith, which is good for Ruru, I guess. It'll also lower stability, which is what the Counts want. They want 4 or less, and it'll raise that. So if you click B, I'll do a royal gamble on that. Otherwise, you guys can choose. Second stage of Doppelganger is low stability, says Combo Lurker. Okay. Mythic Priest, Credo is going A. Sai is going D. We Are Afarius is going C. He wants his son. Yo, Justinian, Combo Lurker, Oceania, and Overshade Shadow are going B. So is Otter. Millennium is also going B. You can't do this to my son! Save Alfarius. They're saving you. This, yeah, sorry, baby. The monster's gonna be killed. No, burn me if you wish, but spare my beautiful boy. No. Treasury is now 3,200. East is now aggrieved. 'Tis a monster, says Otter. Count, We Are Afarius' hideous creation is burned at dawn, filling the village with choking, acrid smoke that doesn't dissipate for days. Faith is now steadfast within the east. You noblemen are the monster, says We Are Afarius. Stability is now stable, it went down. Riots spread across the east as common folk protest that We Are Afarius himself has been allowed to escape justice. He may have his revenge. We will see. Royal wedding. May his son rest in the knight's arms, says Overshade. Your wedding to Katja Kaja is naturally the talk of the kingdom. Noble and peasants alike travel from across the realm to attend. For a week and a day, the capital is one giant party. Yes, says we are Avarius. It feels like you're the only one not taking part. Instead, you are getting ready for the ceremony. Soon enough, you're standing in St. Bertrand's Cathedral with Katja at your side. Do you take this person as your lawfully wedded spouse? I do, which will increase stability and increase authority and lower defiance. Then I pronounce you queen and spouse. After the wedding, of course, there's a feast, and after the feast, a dance. Your new spouse, Katja, dances so vigorously that they spill wine all over themselves. Stability is now civil, authority is now commanding, and defiance has gone down everywhere. By the time you find yourself alone with Katja, it's nearly midnight and you never felt more tired. Good God, I am so drunk, and yet somehow not drunk enough. Time for more wine. Servants, bring us wine. Aha, that's the spirit. What did you think of the wedding? Damn beautiful from the start to finish, wasn't it? I had a whale of a time. What do you do in your spare time? Nothing beats the romance of the hunt. Roaming the great outdoors, searching for my prey. Shall we go to bed together? A time like the present, eh? They swig back the last dregs of their wine and lead you to the bed. In the season. Seeking a simulacrum. Deep in the forest of the march, Baron Combolurker II has gone boar hunting with a few of their close friends. Sorry. Here's Combo. You said you had a surprise for me. Here's Overshade. Indeed, and here it is. Behold! Your Highness, what are you doing here at such an hour? I'm sorry. I hope you didn't overhear any. Haha, quit babbling, you blowhard. This isn't the Queen. It's a peasant who is the Queen's spitting image. Great God! And just in time. The Spymaster trusts us so much that she's not noticed that we're fortifying the border. Military is now powerful within the March. That means we can move to the next phase, kidnapping the Queen and putting this fool in her place. Well, I've never seen this event, neither have I, Sai. It's kind of exciting. How do we manage that? We need the kingdom in utter chaos, bad enough that the Queen's abduction can slip past unnoticed. For the next stage of their scheme, the Barons must lower stability to 4 or less in 2 seasons. Okay, I think Combo was right. Correct. So the Barons and the Counts are on their second phase. The Patricians are still on their first. Crab bubble burst. Bad news, Your Majesty. A new reef has been discovered which is overflowing with millions of jeweled crabs. Crab prices are crashing catastrophically. What? The entire kingdom will suffer financially, Your Majesty, with the exception of a few partitions. How many people invested into crabs? Heck. Curiously, Lord Patrician Nonu, the very same patrician who first began the crab craze, recently sold all his crabs for a huge profit, just days before the crash. Oh wow. So some patricians' wealth has decreased in the March and decreased in the East. Nonu's, however, has increased by quite a bit. I told you, says Overshade. My gold, says Ruru. No, says Kyo. Oceania says, wait, what happens when the Counts and the Barons complete their schemes at the same time? I think it'll do random chance, right? Pick between them? I forget. We Are Afaria says, I still mourn my son. Overshade says, random chance who will rule. Yeah, he's right. Okay, something must be done. You summon your council to discuss the crab price crisis. Many simple nobles have invested heavily into the crab market, and they are casting fierce glances at the patricians' benches. Okay. So we can bail out the failed businesses along with the coast. That'll decrease the treasury by 2,000. I can handle that. It'll lower defiance too, and it'll increase trade. That sounds okay to me. And let the coast suffer the full consequences of the crisis. We shall lower trade, raise defiance, lower stability. The Counts and the Barons want to lower stability. We can arrest Lord Patrician Nonu and confiscate all his ill-gotten goods, which will increase my wealth, decrease his wealth, I think, by a lot, decrease stability, increase defiance, and decrease trade. Okay, Overshade says, East March, go see. They want to arrest Nonu. For justice. He wants justice. It'll lower stability, so. Oceania says, justice! Arrest, says Kyo. Oceania says, time to arrest the patrician. Alfaria says, justice. No, no, oh no, not my spare change, no, why would you do this, says Ruru. Death to the Stormcloaks. Justice! And the crown. That's on A, says Justinian. Okay. Okay. I'll give you some money to go see. Because that does sound kind of fun. But I'll ultimately let you guys vote. Money? Alright then. Sorry, Nonu. People don't like you manipulating the crab trade. Overshade says, do not sell out. But you're taking my money, aren't you, Overshade? Justinian's going A. He's sticking to his guns. Okay. Hey, money talks. Yep. Justinian Birkus is a man of principle. Your soldier Stormlord Patrician Nonu's opulent mansion, arresting him and confiscating all his ill-gotten crap gold. The trial will be held as soon as possible. Trade is now dynamic within the coast. The coast is now furious. The stability is now stable within the kingdom. Treasury is now 5,050. The coast, Nonu's wealth has decreased. You will not get money. Rui says, oh, they will be able to revolt soon. They could probably revolt once the endgame hits. Outraged patricians protest that your actions are illegal and make a mockery of the law. Don't they know that you're the queen? It's fine, we can stop them, says Mythic Priest. Yay. I mean, if we have another rebellion, we have another rebellion. We are Alfarius. Your Grace, terrible news from the east. The beasts have vanished. Oh, my breakfast honey! I fear it has wider implications than your breakfast, your Grace. We counts rely on those bees for the honey trade. But worst, in the east, bees are bringers of good fortune, and we look after them, they look after us. It's a grim omen indeed if they desert us. Not the bees, says Ruru. Our peasants are scared that we've offended the bees somehow. We must track them down. My bees. Okay, so we can say bees come and go, let nature take its course. Send messengers to investigate the other regions, or ask the peasants if they noticed anything wrong. Overshade says, appease the coast, even just a little bit. You peasants. Alfaria says, go B. B? Overshade says, we could go the other way, says Ruru. Overshade says, go B! B. I want B, too. I'll put B. Roll gamble on B. B for bees indeed. Justinian's going A. He wants it to take its course. Sai is voting C. I don't know. Sai, are you in the game? Oh, you are. Okay. It just hasn't registered your vote yet. For some reason. Let's jack this treasury up and see how high it can go and what events come from it. Yeah, that's true. I do want high treasury. See what that does. Otter went A as well. More money for the crown equals more spoils for the East March. Okay, that's true. I can bribe. I'm more willing to bribe if I have a lot of money. The eastern beehives continue to languish, but crowns are grateful that the council has taken the situation seriously. Are the pets here? They are the majority. There is a lot of patricians here. Some of them may have left. I'm not sure. I don't think all of them are participating in the conversation. Yeah, maybe the king could lower the taxes for a bit. Yeah, I can lower the taxes. Messengers ready themselves to traverse the kingdom and find the bees. Surely it shouldn't be too hard to find such a huge swarm. Maybe they're plotting. Back from the hunt. So yeah. The game bases it on active chatters. And who's to keep it balanced? Oh, okay, does it? Catches here. Amelia, dearest, I have something for you. Something I brought from my latest hunt, a trophy. Katja takes you by the hand and leads you into the great hall where a white sheet hangs from a statue that wasn't there before. When they pull the sheet free and it falls to the floor, a taxidermed figure of a great brown bear is revealed, snarling in anger as if it's ready to attack. So we can raise the authority, or we could sell it. I think the block is majority. Okay, I could raise authority just to keep my authority up. Prevent rebellion. Yeah, that makes sense, says Mythic Priest. More authority. My redeem overshade. You don't have to use the redeem on that. That kind of was on my. I kind of wanted that myself, so in the season. We are Afarius has followed. Welcome, Afarius. Appreciate it. Now we can start an auction. We can do a Deer Park, Thieves Guild, lower farming. That's not very. That's not. Authority is kind of fun. Stability is what the both barons and counts want to lower stability. So the barons and counts would probably go for prison. Yeah, time to fund prisons. Ocean says, yeah. Yeah, still 2 redeems to go. Okay, you can say there's overshade. Traders can go up or military can go down. I'll let you guys decide. D sounds like the most appealing choice. Just to lower the stability enough for you guys to get your goals. F for March. D and F. What is F again? A stadium to lower patrician military. Whoa, who funded? Combo Lurker funded 1,500 to lower the patrician's military. Otter votes 100 on E. Milliam puts 1 on B. Justinian puts 300 on E. Ruru is asking Kyo, where am I putting your 600? Mythic Priest funds 500 on D. We Are Ferris puts 600 on B. Combo Lurker puts 1,500 on D. Mythic Priest puts 2,000 on D. He wants that prison. Oceania puts 1,000 on D. Kyo puts 1,500 on D as well. Sai puts 1,200 or 1,200 on E. Hey, a lot of it has gone through. Let's see. The prison was funded. This is probably the highest number we've had on a funded building. Mythic Priest donated the most with 2,001. We have also the Grand Bazaar, which will increase trade in patrician territory, which was voted or funded by Otter of Valinor with 1,200, both ending with 01 at the end. I guess they voted 1 on their stuff. Yo says, I put the 600 on your choice, you made D. Okay. Rue put 600 on Kyo's choice. Mythic, okay. My money will stay where it is, says Overshade. Yeah, he's not spending his money. Rue says 7,500 for building wild, yeah. Just feel is wings. I think I said your name right, maybe. Has followed. Welcome. Appreciate it. Welcome. And you can tell me how I should say your name in the chat, because I will butcher your name if you don't. We have a stinging problem. Jaffiel's. Did Jaffiel his wings? Or Jaffiel's wings. Ah, maybe. Jaffiel? Yeah, okay. It's good to have you. You're saying it right there? Okay, good. Just had to make sure. Jaffiel, you are... Where are you, Jaffiel? You are part of the patricians. Nice portrait. Ooh, cool. The messenger is sent to look for the Count's bees has returned, Your Majesty. We discovered where they went. They've been seen in the march. Baroness Oshina stamps in, her face swollen and covered with stings. Those damned Counts. I bet they sent those bees of theirs to trouble us. They've been attacking you. Aye, it's terrible. By the 9th, those bees must be destroyed. No one dares to go outside. Our markets are ruined. Rakov's bone, says we are Afarius. These bees are our livelihood, and if they're killed, they'll bring bad luck to us all. Then you should have taken better care of them, shouldn't you? Overshade is asking Ruru if they should be burned or lured. Ruru says, overall I like bees, so just bring them back. Vishnu says, this is what the bees did to me. Overshade says, burn is more faith, Ruru. Oh, Silence says, we are Afarius. A Barons. So we can focus on luring the bees back to the east, which will decrease farming, but Defiance will kind of fluctuate. Destroy the bees in the march will decrease faith. Destroying the bees will decrease in Defiance. Or we can get the church to help heal the peasants. My mistake, says Overshade. Yeah, it's okay, Overshade. Ruru kind of wants to let C. She wants to go the chance route. Overshade says Barons go A. Furia says C. What are you guys feeling? We've seen A before, so maybe C. Combo Lurker says let's gamble. I like the gambling choice. We can put a golden choice on C if you guys want to gamble. Justinian wants to go A. He says he has time. What are the patricians going for? The patricians want to lower my money to 1,500 or less. So it's... You want me to have less money in the bank. Which I kind of have a lot, but I'm going to spend it soon. So that might not be hard for you to get. They're native to the east. Ooh. Alright. I'll start the vote. You guys can pick whatever you want. Various Ruru, Sai. A lot of people are going C. I do have money on C. You guys can get money if you go C. We can take the 50% faith roll. So we're going to flip a coin, basically. I am no sellout, just practical, says Overshade. Justinian goes A. Have faith, says Ruru. Go A. I need to recoup losses for the buildings I funded, says Mythic Priest. Okay. So a lot of people are going C. Baroness Oceana looks pleased, bows and hurrying away to summon some priests. But even the holiest of priests have their limits, as they're stung more and more, their fervor falters, eventually they give up. Sad. As Marcher villagers cower in their homes, market days are cancelled and the fields are untended. Meanwhile, the counts are silent on the matter. Trade went down, farming went down in the March. No sadness, we didn't get that one. A bizarre report. Faithless priest, sigh. Yeah. They gave up too early. Should burn them, says Mythic Priest. Your Majesty, I received worrying reports. Worrying and confusing. Let me help you out. What's wrong? I received reports from one of my little birdies in the Baron Comboloker's the second fortress. They have the most unusual guest. Is it me? Who? It's you, Your Majesty, or someone who looks just like you. I have no reason to suspect the Barons of plotting anything, and yet I can't square this away. Unfortunately, I can't devote too many resources to solving this puzzle with the kingdom in such a manable state. Too busy fighting fires elsewhere. Yeah. Stupid holiness, says Alfarius. Gas, says Ruru. Huh? Ruru is faithful. She's faithful. He likes the holy. He thinks the priest didn't try hard enough. I recommend you call the council, or call a meeting of the council and try to do something to put a stop to this. Indeed. Very well. Assemble them at once. My redeem is no veto on C. Is no veto on C? Wait, Overshade, do you mean veto C? Or no veto C? Okay, you just don't want me to do C or put a veto on C then? Is what you're saying? I can't believe Stonefort is trying to usurp you, Your Majesty, says Jalfael. Oh no, they are trying to usurp me. No, don't veto C, says Overshade. Okay. Don't veto anything, it's unnecessary, says Mythic Priest. That queen was burned alive. Does that mean you're gonna go C, Overshade? If we do A, we'd get less money. I don't like A. Stability and authority would increase. B would increase defiance within the march. Yes, we're going C. Okay. I'm gonna do some royal gambling on doing nothing. So Jafel is going A, which is smart. Otter is going B. We are Farius, Combo Lurker, Mythic Priest, Overshade. Kyo is going C. Sai is joining Jafel on A. We must increase security, Your Highness. Doppelgangers are aloof. Or afoot. Not aloof. Yeah, that's true. I kind of agree with you, but I'm kind of helping the marchers at the same time, too. Because I know they're going to go that way, see. So I need the money. They might be aloof, we don't know. Who's this green fellow? It's just Biffo performing its show. Nothing seriously. Nothing serious. Okay, trust. Alright, Combo Lurker, I'll trust you. The council chose not to intervene based on such scanty evidence. Whatever the barons are planning with your body double, it will go ahead without interference. But I get money. I like money. About your heir. Your marriage to Katja has grown steady and strong, like an old castle wall. There has been a political arrangement. It's blossomed into something like love. It's high time you thought about an heir. Congratulations are in order. The royal wedding was a magnificent affair, but something is still missing. You need an heir. You need someone young whose loyalty is assured. A child of your own would do the trick, even if they're a bastard, or the youngest of your many cousins. We might be lending Kurth money at this point. Yeah. I wish the Kurth would come over here and ask us for money. Could you not trust the loyal barons, my liege? Oh, you're right. I need a nap with the 8th. It says we are Farius. With the 8th god? That might be heresy. My spouse and I will have a child together. The traditional method. No one will object to that. I'll arrange for you to take a month off from ruling so you can get down to business. Okay, end the season. Rue says, we are mining still imbued with... Oh, yeah. You're right. Mining still imbued with his corpse on the east of this dynasty, so... Pick. Brown chicken, brown cow, Mythic Priest. What does that mean? Oh, somewhere in the march, Baron Convolurker sits at a banquet, gnawing on a greasy chicken leg. They and their fellow plotters discuss their scheme between mouthfuls. Here's Combo Lurker. Let me have the steel for my bed! You want to make a bed out of cursed steel? I don't know if that's a good idea, we are Farius. The kingdom's on the brink of chaos. It's perfect. We have to strike, says Combo Lurker. Overshade says, what do you intend to us to do? Sweep in and kidnap the queen in full view of the palace watch? No, of course not. Oh, I just realized. My bodyguards are marchers. They'd probably let this happen. It's nice steel, says we are Farius. True. Rue says, holy steel, technically. I don't know about that. No, of course not. We need to use the chaos to our advantage. We have two options. Yep. So you can lure the queen in the march and abduct her there, or manufacture a food crisis and kidnap the queen during the relief efforts. You can raise your own defiance or lower your own farming. What do you guys want to do? Overshade says vote B. For the bed frame, yeah. The bodyguards are loyal. They just didn't notice the switch up. Oh, I see. Oh, there's two queens. Okay, so the marchers are going B. They're going to lower their own farming. My farming! How much do they have to lower it by? If the march griped with famine, we can convince the queen to come down and visit us. Kiss babies, hand out Ruru wells, that sort of thing. I see. Sandwiches. Question our queen? Can we liberalize and become more like Kurth in a way we become a republic? Justinian. What you're talking about is heresy. The Whoppers. We kind of went a republic route one time. 8 need a constitution. That's when we strike. The queen rides down from the march and another queen rides home. Your genius knows no bounds, but what about our own citizens? Won't they starve? Ah, the folk of the march are made of sterner stuff than that. They'll survive on boiled boots and nettled soup. For the final stage of their scheme, the barons must lower their farming to 5 or less. Heresy, says Ruru to Justinian. Mythic says, Ruru, that's it. That's why you have so much money. You invented sandwiches. That is true. Ruru's getting all the royalties. Me mom did, yeah. Never seen the servant after that day. That servant. We made the sandwich. Overshade says, all against Justinian? Opinion? Overshade, they don't... Justinian, I think you may have made a lot of enemies. They don't want a republic. We Are Fairy says, give us a bribe. Okay. I think everyone deserves a bribe. Everyone get bribes today? I'm here to free the people. We will hoist the tricolor. Oh, so Justinian's kind of going for they're gonna rise up the citizens against the monarchy. Then you shall perish, Justinian says Overshade. Not the barons, says We Are Alfarius. Well, you guys don't care about... I can just give you money. You're bribing everyone? Oh, of course I am. I have the money. I can do it. I mean, I know there's no real point in bribing the barons, but I can. That's the thing. Bribe pets. Cause Justinian. I can bribe everyone but the patricians. Because of some Republican sentiment within the kingdom. No, I think we're happy with this. Who peasant lover? Mine are just RP thing, yeah. Rue's RP. Hi. Okay. No. Patrician bribe. I hate Republicans in this kingdom, says We Are Fairies. Yeah, I'll bribe everyone. Just to keep people happy. Nope. No patrician bribe. I already bribed them though. We kicked Kurth's butt some 30 to 40 years ago. That is true. We did. We showed him how it was done. The crab trial. After months of delay, Lord Patrician Nonu is finally due to stand trial for his crab-related market manipulation. We shall remember the Republican bribes as overshaken. What? There's more patricians than just Justinian. I can't not give him a bribe just because of one dude. Satin is here. Welcome, Satin. We're here. You're just in time for the crab trial for Nonu. Hello, it's good to see you. So Satin is a patrician. His fellow patrician Nonu is on trial. Is finally due to stand trial for his crab-related market manipulation. You stand accused of perpetrating fraud and tricking hundreds into buying your expensive crabs. How do you plead? Yeah, serious monarchy stuff is what's happening. I am guilty only of making money, so I broke a few laws along the way. Is that a crime? No. Damn, says Satin. Who says kangaroo court? Nah, our kingdom is above such things. We have crab trials. Crab court. Or says yes, guys. The market was made to be manipulated, says Satin. Yes, yes. Obviously, I pronounce you guilty as charged, and your fate will be decided by the queen. So we can pardon the offender, we can imprison the guilty party, or we can hang the scoundrel. This Jafil says, if we sentence them to death, do we get crab brave? We Are Fair says, hang him. Ghost says, hang him. Nonu, do you have anything to say in your defense? Hang might be too much, says Ruru. Overshade says, Satin Flowers, yes, but only to harm the peasants. Hang him. Prism, hang him, says Mythic. No, I'm sure a reasonable solution can be found. We can imprison him. Or we can hang him. Hang the scoundrel, says We Are Farius. Okay, Overshade says redeem. Prison cause nobility. Okay, we'll imprison him then. On a road. We agreed to an honorable death nobles by the axe. That's true. Yes, we hang the rich. That's the reasonable solution. We Are Fair says we need blood. Jofil says, but we are the rich. Satin says, this is victimless crime. No need to hang the poor fella. Satin and Overshade, I kind of agree with. Overshade wants to spare him and imprison him instead. Mythic Priestess gasps. Or no, Rue says gasps on Mythic Priestess comment. Mythic Priest says, yes, but they are the scapegoat. Okay. Nonu, are you in chat right now? Kill the nobility one at a time. Justinian, you really... Kyo wants hang. Overshade says prison. Prison at Wearer's Pardon if we can. Okay. We'll go the middle ground and go in prison. We don't want to pardon him because he did do bad. The patrician Nonu is dragged away in chains, wailing for clemency. Most of the watching nobles agree that justice has been done, except for the patricians, of course. Defiance is now furious, authority is now iron-fisted. Please, your majesty, Nonu has young children. Who is supposed to pay for the upkeep of his villa? Lord Patrician has been imprisoned. So Nonu the second has joined the council. Nonu's in prison. Victimless? We're the victims of being robbed, says Convo Lurker True. That crab trade. We are Farius is angry. I mean, he's gonna be in prison for the rest of his life. Ruru, Nonu was AFK. Oh, is he? Don't buy crabs next time, yep. Sounds correct. It's your fault for buying the crabs. It was not good enough, says we are Farius. You want death for the guy who sold you crabs. The crab market has collapsed. Satin Flower says, take a leaf from my book and go on vacation to Delvian for the duration of a crab craze. Yeah, true. That's correct. Just go in the east for a little bit. Just hang out. Rue says we could ban crabs next time. Yeah, we can ban crabs next time. No crabs. That's the 5th peasant I've had to send to Overshade Shadow this week, which is the Overshade Shadow is the execution device made by the Overshade Shadow family. And just like that, all the others, she was trying to steal our gold and give it to the poor. Ah, what do they need gold? What do they need with gold anyway? I'm heading back to my castle. For real, for this BS, I gotta do something heretical, says we are Farius. Okay. Overshade Shadow says guillotine equals the Overshade Shadow. Yep. Rue says Ayo. Yeah, blood for the blood god, corn for the cornflakes, peasants for the Overshade Shadow. Mythic Priest says, sorry my fellow barons, I have to leave and take my boyfriend to an appointment. Okay, Mythic Priest, thanks for staying. I appreciate you. I hope your boyfriend is doing well. I guess he's just going to an appointment, so I'm sure it's fine. It's good having you. Everyone say goodbye to Mythic. Right. Something is amiss, your majesty. Someone has been stirring up discontent amongst the peasantry, and I have a reason to believe it's the counts. Why should I care about a few money-grabbing peasants? Why should this count stir up with the common folk? Just tell me what I need to do to stop them. A peasants' uprising is trouble, if not de-escalated quickly. The counts will capitalize on this instability and install Bianca as queen. I use it daily against the Republicans, says Overshade Shadow. Shut up, you spy master, says we are Farius. Rudy says, Justinian, we have managed to make the Overshade Shadow guillotine a peasant-only tool. Yes, that is true. We kill a few more, but then fear the ninth in them, says Marshall. You misunderstand. That is exactly what the counts want. It will cause chaos. Your Majesty, you must get a grip on the common folk. If the kingdom is stable, discontent will not be able to spread that as easily. This will give me more time to root out the conspirators. The kingdom could certainly be doing better. If things don't change soon, these protests will only get worse. Perhaps the council will aid you in this endeavor. Okay, so we can say everyone should chip in to pay for some new hospitals. Sounds like welfare. What's happening? Nobles get the axe as Overshade Shadow. That's true, we get the axe. They may have to chop a couple times, but we get the axe. Promise some reforms to the common folk to keep them calm. Delay scheme for one season. Our peasants are always unhappy about something. Let them riot. Do we want new hospitals? We are fair, says roll a gamble. I may. Aeon Barons French RP people what? C. Kyo says C. Let them riot. Well, I'm going with the Barons. I've been promised I've been promised hefty bribes next ruler. Oh, okay. We should support the peasantry with bare essentials. We redeem Veto C? Yeah, Overshade Shadow, that'll be your last redeem if you do. I think it'll be your last redeem. You want me to Veto C then? Then do it. Alright. That's what you want, right? No, they will get the body to the wall and must get backs. No peasants! I hate peasants. Kill the peasants. Shoot. We need serfdom, we do. Okay. You guys can vote. I, for one, support the hospital proposal. Better trade occurs with a happy peasantry. Jafil makes a good point. Question is if we care about peasants. Promise, but do not do the promises. Regeneration of the counts brings tears to my eyes. No more free peasants. I think the peasants are quite necessary, though they can be quite revolting in both senses of the terms. of Satin. Yeah, true. We'll start the votes. We can pay for some hospitals, which is A. Or we can promise some reforms in the common folk to keep them calm. Big Cheese is here. Hey, Big Cheese, how are you? Big Cheese, what are you? I forget what you were. You're a baron. Oh, yeah. Where am I going? Overshade Shadow says review. I have to think about some reforms. Okay, it's time. Oh, we got a tiebreaker. What? What is this? 7 people think everyone should chip in to pay for some hospitals. Promise some reforms to common folk to keep them calm. Big Cheese is back. Hey, Big Cheese, where do you want to vote? I don't think you've voted, have you? He wants to vote A. Did you already get in there? Yeah, you already voted. Okay. I guess I choose then? Break the tie by selecting one of these options. What do you want to do, Your Majesty? We are a fairy says, vote B, my liege. Promise them some reforms that keep the common folk calm. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. I don't want to raise defiance, really. Kyo says, vote B. Oshina says, vote A, my liege. Guys, that is wealth, not treasury. True, wealth is from the peasants. You will not lower my treasury. It'll lower... No, not from the peasants. From the nobles. You will spend wealth on this. The fairy says, vote B. It's a better for our kingdom. Kyo says, traditions. Wealth is from the nobles. Yeah, Rue is right. Overshade says B. I'm thinking B. It'll keep everything calm. Hospitals is for better healthcare. Do we have healthcare for the peasants? I for one am willing to do my patriotic duties as just feel. The Queen just called us peasants. I've heard it insulted. Sorry, Satin. Everything beneath me is peasants. Do you want to be hanged, says Justinian. Yes, says Kyo. Ruru says, wait, what? Son? No, I didn't. Come on, I didn't call you peasants. I've been called worse, says we are fairies. Okay. You promise whatever you can to keep the peasants them on side. Public holidays, subsidized eyeglasses, complimentary branded ink pots. But it's only a stalling tactic. Without real change, you're still in hot water. We gotta kill him. No, please. Don't kill me. You've hampered the council's effort. Their stat goal will not be evaluated until the end of the next season. Okay. We can look at Eastern Ruins. Count We Are Fairies is here. Your Grace, my researchers have uncovered something fascinating. We discovered the location of a bee charm. It should bring the bees back from the march. Great God, get on with it then, says Oshina. We're cowering in our homes to hide from these horrid swarms. There's no way to live. We haven't found the charm yet, but it's said to be hidden in a ruined monastery. My soldiers are coming to it now. Now, what we did previously is we tried to let the priests solve it, which they failed. So now the counts are doing bee stuff. after that. Yeah, monastery, let's go. What monastery? A monastery? I've never heard of a... The monastery once belonged to the Order of the Conquering Blade. The what? They're long dead, High Inquisitor. Your forebears made sure of that. Because they were demon worshippers. This ruin must be destroyed immediately. It's too dangerous to stand. I understand the dangers, but what if this means... What if that means we can't find the charm? Yeah, okay. Woo! Oh, shush. You can suffer a bit longer, you Margin. Says we are Farius. What? Oh. Here's Baroness Oshina. I'm with We Are Farius. Without the charm, we'll be terrorized with the beasts forever. Okay, so the Marchers are with Farius on this. They want to get rid of the beast. Order of the Conquering Blade. Long dead. Killed by Inquisitor's forebears. Okay, good job, Ruru. You got that marked down. The Council Hall descends into argument as 3 of them makes demands. You can call a vote to settle things down. So we can say, never mind the demon stuff, find the beach arm. Loot the whole place, there's bound to be valuables there. Oh, money. Destroy the monastery, it's too dangerous. And this is in the Count's territory. I know Ruru, which is like the representative of the Counts, wants to increase faith. We Are Fair says, vote A, nobleman. He wants to find the bee charm. Yo wants to go A. Ruru's a bit silent on the matter. I'm gonna make... Ruru says, I'm gonna be made to choose between faith and lore. Yeah. RP or lore? What do you want, Ruru? Any more opinions? Overshade asks, what do, Ruru? Oshnia says, time to vote A. Philo says, we must bring peace and prosperity to the kingdom. Let us attempt to find this B charm. Yeah. People are kind of going A on this. No one... Sorry, Ruru. Faith may not be the way. Faith is not important. Faith is not as important as now as those damn bees. We Are Ferris makes a point. We can always increase faith, but we can't always get the bees back. Alas. Wait, not A, says Oshina. Why not A? Just loot the place. Everyone would get money. And maybe we'd find the bee charm. We Are Alfaris says, heresy! Overshade Shadow says, would. How is the slideshow going? I haven't made much progress on it. Mainly because we streamed another one after and I took a bit of a break on the weekend. But I'm still working on it. I'll show you guys again once I do some more on it. I have another stream to do, and then I'm adding this stream on top of it. So it's been going. Rue says, I'll go A and try for the lore then. I've been convinced. Joe Fields says, we don't need to go rooting around there more than we need to. Just get the bee charm and leave. Rue says, gosh, damn it, Inquisitor. Why are you such a stick in the mud? Yeah. How's the Discord? Okay, I haven't started on the Discord either. I've been kind of... I can probably start on it. I feel like it won't be too hard to just set up real quick. We Are Fairy says, we must be vigilant though. I guess B charm choice, right? Vote A. Aye. People are going A. So I'm going to put a golden choice on A. I'm sorry, I'll definitely get the Discord set up today. Yeah, it seems quite easy. Yeah, let me open my Discord real quick. Yeah, come on, Discord. Throw it over there, please. Shade, I think this might increase your farming. I think it does, right? Or maybe it decreases every year. Let's see. We Are Fair says, see, it's called being a negotiator. Let's see, Inquisitor more like dumb got him. Feel. Might. Maybe just east, says Overshade. Oh, okay, it's okay then. Big Cheese, you know, gold can put a lot of things into perspective. Really help you understand someone's point. Big Cheese is right. Faith is now dutiful. Stability is now unstable. Now Inquisitor sweeps out, tight-lipped and furious. Rumors start to spread that she has sent Inquisitors in disguise to the east to snoop around. Meanwhile, We Are Farius' vassals return from their expedition with the charm. To everyone's relief, the bees quickly return to the eastern hives. Farming in the east is now rampant. Defiance is now cordial in the east, and Defiance can't go any lower in the march. I think good things are happening. Faith. 1 step forward. 2 High Inquisitor step back. Yeah. If the High Inquisitor wasn't such a stick in the mud, Faith would actually increase, I'd feel like. But no, he has to have an opinion about everything. Like, no, you can't have fun. You must increase faith. Otherwise, you'll decrease it. I don't care any about those laws. An old debt. Let's try that first. The next 3 people decide with my choice. In the next vote, I will personally fund any building up to 400, says We Are Ferris. Okay. Phil says, what a great success. I hope you listen to the patricians more often, my queen. Queen Amelia. I may just do that. Yeah, bad apple ruins the bunch, says Evershade. Big Cheese is here. How do you expect me to take this seriously, you crack-brained simpleton? Wow. What an insult. Here's Sigh. Shut your daft mouth and give me what I am owed, you honorless dog. And the 7 hells is going on. Now here's Big Cheese. This pimple-headed lackwit expects me to pay them a huge quantity of gold just because their great-great-grandfather beat my great-great-grandfather in a foot race. A debt owed is a debt owed, is it not? What? What is this? Sigh and Big Cheese are going at it. Fight, fight, fight! Forgive debt, because Pat's bad? Overshade. Not all Pats are bad. Just most Pats are greedy. They have their own priorities. Make the Baron pay the debt, says We Are Farius. Your August Majesty, I only recently discovered this debt while coming through my ancestors' journal. Honor dictates that Baron Big Cheese is liable for their ancestors' debt. By the Ninths, this is ludicrous. I demand we put this to a vote. Okay, so we can vote. We can order Baron Big Cheese to pay their debt. We can cancel the debt. It's too old to matter. Or we can order Big Cheese to pay their debt plus 2 centuries of interest. Oh my gosh. Oh jeez. Justine says, I'm not greedy. True, Justine seems fairly nice for a patrician. Because most Pats are bad, says Worshade, yeah. You cannot be entertaining this nonsense, Your Majesty, says Big Cheese. And says, forgiving debts is a slippery slope. That is true. Ocean says, forgive Big Cheese. Otter Lenore says, I'm not greedy, I just want all the money. I see. Rue says, how much money do each of them have? That's a good question. So, Big Cheese. Where's Big Cheese? Big Cheese here. He has 2,450. Sai has 9,625. Sai is richer. First 3 to make Big Cheese pay debt and 2 centuries of interest. I will fund, says Alfarius. Overshed says East March B. Kyo says make him pay. Simply pay the debt and move along. No need to intensify matters, says Jofil. Yeah. Very strange. Ocean says C bullying. Fake debt. Maybe. What are you guys going for? Seems like you. Overshade says East March B. They want to cancel the debt. The rich are extorting the poor. Yeah, that's what's happening here. There are fears wants C. Order Baron to pay their debt. Kyo and We Are Ferris are going C. At most A from this money difference. That is quite the money difference. Well, I mean, Big Cheese is poorer than Sai, right? So canceling the debt, I don't know, neutral. Sai says Golden B. Okay, Sai says Golden B. So he wants to cancel the debt. We'll Golden B. Sai's gonna be nice. Gold it is. Yeah. Sai called for a golden choice. He wants the debt to be forgiven to Big Cheese. Thank you. Yeah, Big Cheese. Sai's a pretty cool guy. You guys should become friends or something. I don't know. Overshade says, I wanted to vote B anyway. Sai himself wanted to cancel the debt. Yeah, that is true. Sai wanted to cancel the debt himself. The one he brought against Big Cheese, so that was nice of him. Grand. Glad the council sees reason on this matter, says Big Cheese. A debt is a debt. Does no one care about honor anymore? Listen, Sai. This is what you voted for. Okay. Rewards of prosperity. That sounds nice. I always kind of like the petitions, you know, says Big Cheese. Yeah. Cool. Funny. After this, the coast should be able to rebel. The coast should be able to rebel. I don't know if we're in the end game yet, so I'm not sure if they can just yet. Rue says, Your Highness, merchants are visiting the east from afar, affilled as Valamir and Atash. Our quarterly figures are stunning. Your quarterly what? Money! Lots and lots of money! The rich grow richer. Oh yeah! No, we don't. Valamir and Atash. Your Highness, this Eastern economist has an audacious idea for all this wealth. Call it an experiment. We give the peasants gold whether or not they're working. This will ensure a base level of comfort and security for all. Here's Kachip. A splendid plan. It will help everyone in the East live a decent life. Emilia, you'll say yes, won't you? Rakos Bones, what are you saying? That we should hand out cash for nothing? Yes, I was like, what? Ruby's like, ew, what? Sounds a really good idea, says Satin Flowers. Big G says, excuse me? Combo's like, bruh. Overshade says, ew, peasants. Okay. With respect, how is that different from the counts receiving fees from their serfs? It's completely different, Your Grace. This lunacy cannot possibly be considered. So we can implement this new economic strategy in the East, can encourage merchants to visit other regions across the kingdom too, demand a one-time extra tax on the counts they can afford it, host a financial summit in the capital to celebrate the count's success. The poor people. Let's go, says Justinian. Ew, poor. Rue, out of character. This economist knows his stuff. Yeah, damn. To be honest, I want the peasants to be able to afford baths, so I don't have to. I don't have to smell them when I travel across the city, says Satin. Okay. Luchi says B sounds nice. We Are Fairy says veto all. What is B? Encourage merchants to visit other regions across the kingdom too. B does sound nice. Probably increase trade all around. Happy and productive peasantry is always good for trade. That is true. They'll increase defiance if we go A, which the patricians could probably rebel at that point. But it'll increase stability as well. So but the accounts just need 4. Barry says veto A. Time to veto A. Wait a one time. Or host a summit. Right. Yeah, I don't really care for A. Oceana says don't veto A. Rue says A will increase defiance probably for us counts. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Then that's fine. Yeah, you're right. A would just increase defiance for the counts. Rue is correct. We Are Furious says A. Are you guys thinking A? I know there's some people that don't want A. It'll raise farming and stability and increase trade within the within the count. It's already 10. Overshade says A. Big Cheese says B. B for the barons / coast, says Combo Lurker. I'm not giving my money to peasants for free, says Ruru. Okay. Saya says I like B. B seems pretty good. What about we do a royal gamble on B? Do people want B? Go B, let the other regions get on it. Yeah, okay. Well, we're thinking B, but if you guys can decide. B or A is perfectly reasonable. Yeah, I'm fine with either, really. Satin, Otter, and Arius and Oceania are going A. Everyone else is going B. Okay. Time is up. Stop voting for peasants! How dare you vote in the best interest of the East, Lolo? True. The rest of you are treasonous, says Alfarius. Rock of Bones, but those are our merchants, says Ruru. Treasury is now up. Okay, that's because I did the thing. It's tough for the counts to give up some of their monopoly. Defiance is now grumbling. But the merchants extend trade routes across the kingdom and other regions quickly benefit or feel the benefit. More and more counting houses are built and long abandoned roads are rebuilt to allow for safe passage of caravans. The coast is now furious. They went down. The march can't go any lower. Trade is now wealthy in the coast and trade is now dominant in the march. Okay. Buzzing in the walls. They're in the walls! Peasants. Such an outdated word. I prefer the term poor person, says Big Cheese. Poor people. Gross. I hate poor people. Like that wizard guy. Yeah, poor people. No. I must speak with you urgently. Remember how Count We Are Afarius went poking around the heretical monastery of the Conquering Blade. They're in the walls! Right, to find the bee charm. The charm did bring the bees back, but at what cost? It began with buzzing in We Are Afarius' castle's walls. At first it was only at night, but then it grew so loud the servants couldn't hear themselves think. The honey began dripping from the stone walls. Villagers started disappearing. Horrid things are afoot. We Are Afarius strides into the council hall, wild-eyed. There's a strong smell of honey around. We Are Afarius here is. I assure you, I am perfectly fine. Get the buzzing away, says We Are Afarius. Oh yeah, bees control dreams, don't they? Yeah, I think they do. This is some bee magic. Honey walls, peasant disappearing. We Are Afarius is perfectly fine. Sounds like profit to me. Yeah, Ruby's right. This man is clearly touched by unholy forces. Chaos breaks out. In a moment of quiet, you call a vote. We can have High Inquisitor test We Are Afarius, which will be a 50% faith roll. We can search We Are Afarius' estate, which will increase defiance in the coast, or in the east. Yeah, in the east. This is blown out of proportion. We can lower faith, lower stability, lower defiance, but increase farming. Oh, the bees will increase farming. I am not fine. Please search my estate. Rue says, oh man. Okay, I want to check the honey castle. B it is. Go B? Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'll let you guys vote. People want to go B. Let's see what the honey castle's like. Overshade says East March B. Beacombe Hall, Beacombe Hall. B for blink if you're possessed by a bee demon. Beeman? It's a beeman. Big cheese. It's a beeman. Be gone, demon. Let's see. Get them out of my walls, says We Are Afarius. And then we update the lore document with his beam. I don't know. I think that's headcanon. Ruru. How dare you? This is an utter outrage. After the search is concluded, the High Inquisitor returns. The investigators discovered the source of the demonic energy. That charm from the heretical monastery. Once it was destroyed, its influence was lifted from We Are Afarius. You destroyed it? I didn't tell you to destroy it. I just told you to investigate his manor. They discovered the missing villagers in a cellar, suspended in pods filled with honey. When they cracked the pods open, they were nearly dead. It was a mercy to put them down. Jeez. Hey, just a casual businessman is here. Hey, how are you, man? Thank God, I didn't want to hear the buzzing anymore. Personally, I would suggest executing We Are Afarius, just to be sure. That's kind of its own justice. We Are Afarius. We could say it wasn't We Are Afarius' fault. We can let him go. We can say just keep him in the dungeons for a while. Or I agree, have him executed. Wait, what? Yeah. Your fate is within my hands. Wait, let me explain. Okay, explain We Are Afarius. Just a dungeon for a bit. He's had enough honey. It's true. Overshade Shadow. He says, just a casual businessman. Welcome back, fellow Baron of the March. And remember East March. Let him go, says Kyo. They were lower stability, which I'm fine with. And it'll decrease defiance. Or we can keep him in the dungeons for a while. So increase faith, but up defiance. I'm kind of feeling like letting him go. Tyrant, don't touch the counts. Don't just call me a tyrant. That's mean. I'm not tainted by those foul demons. I am completely capable of ruling. Please. Yeah, he needs to go to the drunk cell. He's overdosed on honey, says Ruru. Overshade says dungeon. Ruru says ye. Overshade says dungeon. Oceana says dungeon. Justina says execute him. He's a noble. Okay, Justine. He says freedom. If we put him in the dungeon, I don't think he'll ever come back from the drunk tank. I think it'll just give me his son. Kill him. Dungeon. Okay, Overshade. What? Stop, you can't do this to me. Execute me? No, I'll be nice. I think I'm gonna let him go. I don't want Apharius just to rot away in a cell. As he comes down from his bee honey hive. Forgiveness. I'm gonna, forgive him. As you wish, Your Majesty. That's tyranny. Heretic, says Overshade. Okay. We are Apharius is immediately relieved, of course, and sends you a grateful letter telling you so. Heretic. The peasants bury their friends and loved ones and are less happy. Tales of insidious murderous bees spread throughout the kingdom, and people murmur against you. Okay, we are Apharius. I've given you mercy, but out of my own judgment. Okay. Back in the east, Count Kyo has met with his co-conspirators once again. What do the peasants know about demons? Right? What is being passed around in good measure, and it seems spirits are high. Here's Kyo. We've done it again, my good friends. The peasants are in uproar. Riots are commonplace across the kingdom. I foresee no negative consequences of this. Are you sure, Kyo? Other than for the queen, of course. Indeed, says Ruru. We've even been able to use the current unrest as an excuse to expand our armies. The queen can't gainsay us now. So the count's military has gone up. Heretic? I'm not such thing that you speak of, Overshade. You're clearly deranged. Overshade says East support March for compensation? Is March asking for compensation? Is that what's happening? Big Cheese says, oh, just because we have all the money and we have all the power and the law doesn't fully apply to us, everything is a conspiracy, huh? Yeah, Big Cheese, I agree with you. Like, people are just too dramatic. I'm already in, lol. Or whatever. I'm already in. Unquisite. Exquisite. Who knew that we could stand to gain so much by simply ruining the lives of a few measly peasants, says Kyo. Ruru's really good at that. Only one step remains. I have two proposals for the plan ahead. One way or another, we will push the lowborn to turn violent. I know, right? Yeah. We can devalue the kingdom's currency, spreading mass poverty, which will lower all trade. Or your goal is to lower all trade. Or you can manufacture a food crisis, spreading mass starvation, which is lower all farming. Farming would be a little bit easier, but it's not that much different, I don't think. Lower all trade, I guess, sounds less evil? I don't know. I don't want either of these. Yeah, I don't want either of these either. But you guys have to choose. Millennium's going B. Apharius is going A. Economy is too strong. This is Big Cheese. Okay. Rue, do you want to vote or nah? Rue's going A. Do we have any other counts? No. Okay. I guess I'll have to break this somehow. I'm gonna go further random. Well, oh yeah, it is random, isn't it? Okay. Manufacture a food crisis, spreading mass starvation. Lower all farming. Okay. You're willing to starve our own people? Are you mad, says We Are Apharius? Thank Marcher Farming East, says Evershade. Ooh, just a casual businessman says. Diabolical. Why? You might even call it evil. No, it's for their own good. When you think about it, everyone will be better off with Bianca on the throne. This final push. We will ensure the queen soon has more than just a few angry peasants on their hands. Yes. And once the fighting starts, they'll be right there. I'll be right there, ready to step in and negotiate. You're gonna talk to hungry people, hungry peasants, hungry poor people. Oh yes, the greater good. I'm all about that. I know better. I know what's good for the peasants. Yeah. So you must lower all regions combined farming to 15 or less. Alright. The March and the Counts are on their last thing. They want to lower their own farming. The Marchers do to 5 or less. The Counts want to lower total farming to 15 or less. There'll be a large amount of hangry peasants, says Big Cheese. Peasants? They have families for the ninth, God's sakes. You are no nobles, says We Are Fair. So he's being very noble for a noble. Combo says, interesting. I thought they would need to only lower it by 2. Yeah. Kinda do, don't they? Need for horses. We Are Farius says, or no, Overshade asks, We Are Farius, are you relating with the peasants? Just a casual businessman is here. My liege, I've been thinking. Archer soldiers are without peer, but our armies could always be stronger. What we really need are better horses. But the best don't come cheap. Are you talking about plastic crack or like real horses? Need for speed, says Ruru. Yeah. Go A, says Overshade Shadow. I need wands. Wands. Need for speed. The Ashmedians have a surplus of desertars at the moment? Horses bred for war. Perhaps the crown should go halves with the barons and acquire more. For the good of the kingdom, of course. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. So we can purchase some horses from Ashmead. Man, they're expensive, but sounds pretty good. Or we can do farming, encourage the barons to breed their own deserters in the march. Des Tree-er, says Ruru. Des Tree-ers. We got some Des Tree-ers. Thank you, Ruru. Yeah, okay. I was once a so-called peasant. I am for the greater future of this damned nation, says We Are Affairs. Oh wow. He's a self-made noble. The good of the kingdom, says Overshade. Des Tree-ers. Cares about the nation. Care about yourselves, says Kyo. Ruru says, what? Is this possible? PG? Farewell, fellow patricians. Oh, Jafil, are you gone? It seems like an A thing. Yeah, I'm off. Okay. Jafil is going. And watch Spy X Family. Man, I need to finish Spy X Family. It's pretty good. Everyone say bye. Have fun. It's so good. I'll see ya. Alright, see ya. Good having you. Okay. I'm gonna do a royal gamble on A. Because I want the money. I mean, it's just gonna... It'll take my money a little bit. Maybe we do a golden choice on A. I'm fine with doing that. I got money to burn. Yeah. Uru and Credo, you are both nothing better than foul demon spawn. Wow, you're Farius. That's... You're saying that to a religious person. Credo. Am I the richest? Let's see. Overshade, you have nearly 18,000. Ruru has 18,000. Combo has 10,000. Just a Casual Businessman has 12,000. Sai has 10,000. So we got some rich people in here. Okay. Yeah, everyone's voted A. Yeah, got their golden choice. I see nothing but a jar of honey in response, you peasant, says Ruru. Vote A. Purchase horses from Ashmead. Both you and Baron, just a casual businessman, hand over hefty sacks of gold to the Ashmead ambassador, who eyes them suspiciously. Sure enough, a few weeks later, a legion of feisty war horses are delivered to the march. It only cost you an arm and a leg. It did cost a lot, but I feel like it's worth it. These are incredible beasts, your majesty, and the barons will never have to ride our puny native horses again. I can't thank you enough. The military is now unbeatable within the march, and Defiance can't go any lower. Oh, you damn fool. Orshid says to Alpharius, go back to the other peasants, you peasant. Hate to admit it, but the Ashmedians have drip. Yeah, they do, Big Cheese. He says, look at our horse. Our horse is amazing. Give it a lick. It tastes just like raisin. Damn, +3. Let's go. Yeah, I know. We're at 10. Slaps over Shade Shadow. Silence you, Rich. Man, We Are Fierce is doing some roleplay. Getting angry. He wants the peasants to be good. Don't be mean to other nobles, says Ocean. Yeah, let's not be mean, guys. But I do like the roleplay. Where he says, no, Sai is here. We still have the Sal Kingdom to conquer. That is true, Sai. Oh, Sutton. Your Serene Highness, I bring bad news from the coast. We're receiving reports of... Oh, here's Big Cheese. I am sure your news can wait. I bring urgent tidings from the march that demand the Queen's attention at once. Wait your turn, you ignorant dolt. Why don't you settle our quarrel outside, says Millennium. Meanwhile, I have news from the east that is really urgent. No, one at a time, please. The industries of the coast are in grave danger. Workers are striking. They demand fewer hours and higher pay. Is that all? By the 9th, order in the march has broken down, my liege. Some battalions have killed their own officers and began roving in the wilderness, acting like common bandits. Jeez. We are Afarius, and Justinian is why we can't give way to Republican events anymore. Yeah. They are going for the Republican route. At least my mother didn't have to sell herself to them. Oh, whoa, Overshade. Lore stuff. Or roleplay, I guess. Okay, there's present issues in the coast. Yeah, here's the Eastern. My news is still worse. The Eastern courts are corrupt, Your Highness. Judges are letting out the vilest criminals in return for the slightest bit of coin. Oh, I mean, I do the same thing. All these problems have arisen because the kingdom is increasingly unstable, Your Majesty. Something must be done. What do you suggest? Unfortunately, we lack the resources to tackle all these problems at once. We must vote on which matter to prioritize. Oh, okay. Alright. Eastern courts should clearly take priority, says Big Cheese. Alfarius is tackling Overshade Shadow. He's anger. He will not take that insult to his mom politely. Justinian says, I will be kind for now, but when the people start to fight, I can't tell you that they'll be kind. Yeah, that's true. Big Cheese sees we need to have a monopoly on corruption. Overshade says, I saw her at the local market. That's mean. Roleplay. Combo says, Pets, you want to rebel? True. If you... This is going to look up stability, but it could bring defiance up in the patrician territory, which could get them in place to rebel. Big Cheese says C. Reform the Eastern Counts. I kind of want to help the coast a bit, to be honest. I don't want to lower military. A and C both lower trade. So if I had to choose between A and C, I'd probably go A. Just to do, yeah. I'm going to do a royal gamble on A. Oh, no, that would be against the patrician stuff, so I'll just let you guys vote, but I'm thinking A. About his ambition roll, so to keep that in mind. Oh, I probably am, Combo. You're right. What is my ambition? I forget. Oh, stability. That's not happening. No, yeah. I forgot all about my ambition. Yes, I will be the father of Republic. The re-evaluation. You mean revolution, Justinian? Or do you mean re-evaluation? Rue says, save that for the next monarch. Yes, the one to revolt, and then the other stays loyal. Hey, whoa, no murder in the council chamber, please, says Big Cheese. Alright, seems like we have 6 for A. Break the stripes along the coast. Alright. You send your troops to break the strikes. After the resulting riots have backed down, the strikers reluctantly get back to work. The patricians are satisfied with that you've enforced order, but more and more workers abandon the coast altogether, seeking employment in other regions. Okay. The crisis on the coast have been quashed, making the kingdom as a whole slightly more stable, but the nobles of the other regions feel that you're ignoring their problems. The defiance is now aggrieved in the east, defiance is now aloof in the march, stability is now teetering. Guards, escort this noble out of here, says Rishade. We are Afarius. Who says, other option, fight for the next construct thing. Afarius says, no, you don't have the authority, says Overshade. Do I have to be the king in the chat for a little bit? We are Farius and Overshade Shadow? Do we have to decide... Do we have to have, like, a council vote within the chat to decide this squabble? At least we got cool horses. That's true, just a casual businessman. What? We arrest... we are Farius? Or we arrest Overshade Shadow? I wish I had access to polls, because I'd totally do that. Your quest for the heir is now complete. You stand before the council holding a small child in your arm. The council hall is filled with nervous silence. Overshade Shadow says, I wasn't born when you could throw down. Okay. Oh, there's fighting. This petty dispute is so beneath me, says Big Cheese. Farius is lunging with his sword drawn. My son. My son. Someone else break out in a polite applause. By the designated heir, you've cemented stability within the kingdom. Your Serene Highness, this is Justinian. May I be the first to congratulate you on the birth of your son. What is his name? Amelia the Second. Marvelous, your august majesty. I'm sure that a little Amelia the Second will grow up to be a chip off the old block. You will die for those words. Congratulations on finding an heir. Now you need to fulfill your ambition to win the game. Expect a visit from the Spy Master soon. Okay. Are we gonna have to jail someone? My brother visits her on a regular basis. On a regular basis, is that what you're saying? Wow. Alright, auction time, guys. We can raise faith within the barons. Lower military within the barons, don't like that. Lower farming the counts, nah. Lower faith, nah. Raise military in the patricians, I kinda like that. Lower authority, nah. Maybe if you guys want to rebel, you do the F. E sounds nice. Increase military. Big Cheese says, let's see if the heir will be a chip off the old block or chopped off the old block. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I'll start the auction. E looks appetizing. Evade. Okay. One of the nobles, please seize Overshade Shadow or seize Alfarius. They are doing bad stuff. They're fighting each other within the council chambers. Sex Baron don't get priority over the Deer Park. Yeah. They don't. The counts the counts do want to lower farming, I think. So they do want the Deer Park, and I think I mean I am a mod. But so is Overshade Shadow. Okay. Okay. I mean, I'm not telling you to time them out or anything. We're on roleplay mode, but... Overshade says, and I was trained with the sword since the age of 6! You know how many peasants Overshade Shadow killed when he was young? Bloody thousands of them. Alright. Deer Park was funded. Kyo funded the most. He funded 2,207. He was the only one that funded the Deer Park. Which lowers farming within the coast. Or the counts, sorry. Let's do a jousting duel, says Just a Casual Businessman. Oops, got it. I want to do a jousting duel. Just a Casual Businessman. You better win it next time. Almost I wasn't neglected by my mother, says Alfarius. At least, you say. None peasant are below me. The cathedral is also funded by Ruru, which makes sense. She funded the most for it. She was the only one that funded it, 1,600. Cool. Sigils and stone. Here's Baron Just a Casual Businessman II. Your Highness, unfortunately there have been some strange things happening in the newly built aqueduct. I'd rather keep it quiet for now, but the other nobles can be so judgmental. I don't want people to think I don't have a grip on my aqueduct. So we did this before, and we just said paint over it, and I don't think anything ever really came of it. Sigils and stones may break my bones, says Ruru. Overshade, you're the only noble I see below any peasant. Wow. From Alfarius. Overshade says, mine didn't sleep all that. Overshade is really, like, packing it in with your mom's your mom sleeps with everyone kind of thing with Alfarius. I don't know. Okay. Alright. Tell me more. Odd symbols are starting to be painted on the bricks of the aqueduct. No one knows where they're coming from, but those who look at them too long grow restless and feverish and must flee. I'll keep it quiet for now. Or should we take it to the council? Overshade really hates his mom. Yeah, he does, for some reason. Ruby says, bang, 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 bang. Sigils and stones may break my bones. Yeah, okay, We Are Fair says, at least mine was dead when I turned... At least mine was dead when I turned 5. Quiet. Yeah, I'll keep it quiet just to catch those businessmen. We're tight. Cheers, Your Majesty. What should we do, my liege? It's horrible for visitors. I'll let you decide, just a casual businessman. What do you want to do about the paint? Or the sigils, really. Excuse me. Troops? You want to do troops? Okay. 90% of the time, it works every time. Exactly. Just a casual businessman sends a few troops to guard the aqueduct. They're professional enough and send detailed reports back. Right now, the only notable visitors are stray cats, but the guards vow to keep an eye on things. Okay. Well, that was kind of sad. I was hoping we'd see someone or something. Oh, poor thing. That... Oh, never mind. I'm not going to read any more of that. The unpaid debt. Lunges at him again with murder in his eyes as we are buried. Ashmenian ambassador. Puny queen, you have not kept up with your war horse payments. Remedy for this or faith rather than... Excuse me? Payment? What? Excuse me? I explained the price of Baron just a casual businessman. He assured me the remainder from your initial payment would be received in installments. I've received no such installments, and they are overdue. What the heck? What? Just a casual businessman. What type of business are you doing? Ashmani thinks it stands a chance. Yeah. That's total fabrication. We paid them out in full, up front. What kind of scam is this? Say refuse to pay, or we can say pay the Ashmani the debt they're owed. They're not owed anything, I don't think. Or it's just a casual businessman to fit the remaining bill. Or we can return the horses to Ashmead and apologize for the misunderstanding. We're not returning anything. Heck no. Ashmead's a scammer. Yeah, what the heck? Sally wants to vote A. If you don't vote A, you're dead in my eyes. Yeah, heck yeah. Monarch's choice on refuse to pay. You get some money on A, guys. We're not the stupid Ashmeadians. What do they want from us? We're not having this at all. Oceanus says, pay him, please. It's war, then. Warhammer. Schmied wants to get crushed again. That's what they want. Yeah, we crushed him before. We can crush him again. We'll show them. Their golems aren't going to save them. We got horses that we took from them. Or I guess we bought them. They're in a civil war. Let's hope it goes well. The second... This is technically the third Ashmoodian war. The first one didn't go so well. We were supposed to win, but we lost. Second one, we did crush them. The third one is this war. The third. We don't talk about the first. This is Ruru. Yeah. Your father is a poor excuse of a man. Whoa, Rashade. You're just throwing insults. Very well. Act like an unruly child. Soon you will be treated. Expect a raven's head within my next correspondence. Ambassador leaves without another word. I hate that guy. I hate that guy. Who hates that guy? I hate that guy. Nation calls. Your ambition. At the start of your reign, you said you wanted to be a peacekeeper, but so far you've not convinced anyone. The kingdom is still on the brink of chaos, Your Majesty. Oh, well. Current ambition isn't working for you. You can stop nobles from overthrowing you. You need to pivot, change your image. Other advisor has some ideas. We should crush these disloyal nobles, smash their armies, and force them to submit. That's probably not happening. Your Majesty, if you help us spread the zeal of the ninth god, the church will lend full support. With the backing of the church, nobles won't dare move against you. I hate him. Love his hairstyle. That's true, Ruben. Yeah, he did have a cool hairstyle. Here's another idea. Declare war on the Ashmoodian Empire. The nobles will get their schemes if you win. Double war. Don't listen to the rest of these fools. Have you heard the Scepter of Sages? It's a lost artifact forged by Queen Alma the Wise. There's a legend that says any queen who recovers it. The thing about the Ash Median ending... Yeah, we're already doing it. I'm kind of afraid. I want to see what happens if we don't choose to go for the war. Yeah. Because I don't really want to get the end. I think we already had the ending with Ash Median Empire with the second war. I'd go for Faith, yeah. There's just a fight in the hall and no senator is doing anything. We're just letting it happen. Action does not have my consent. Become a living saint. I want that faith and trade. Or do you want living saint? Oh, we could do living saint. I kind of want the Scepter of Sages, though. That sounds cool. Oh, authority is what I have. I don't know. What are you guys saying? Scepter of Sages or authority? We tried to go get the Scepters of Sages, but I failed. Treasure is sus. What do you mean? Bye. Let's do faith and trade. Says over just a casual businessman. Yeah, I agree with just a casual businessman. I want the scepter. I want to see what that does. So we'll try that. A wise decision, Your Majesty. I'll be sending out adventurers to track down the scepter's location. But adventurers aren't cheap. Your priority is to raise the kingdom's overall faith and trade as much as you can. Of course, there can't be an open rebellion amongst the nobles. Yeah. Rue says to Overshade Shadow, enough squabbling with the peasant. Come over and let's discuss whether we should follow the god. Oh shoot. Yeah. I didn't choose the God Queen option. Sorry, Ruru. Maybe I should have done that, but we're going Scepter of Sages. Not that I expect to win this. I kind of want someone else, one of the nobles, to win. How should we tax? Oh, I misheard then? Oh, I'm sorry, Ruru. We are fair. Slashes at Overshade Shadow while he is distracted. I know you won't get the axe for sure. Okay. Let's here, wait. Okay. If we can't decide this. Should we D&D this a little bit? Have you guys played D&D before? Actually, here we go. Sigmar and the Empire. Warhammer. Wait, not that game. Okay. There's a lot of combat going in the chat. Overshade Shadow. I'm gonna roll a dice. You might have DM'd it. Oh, really, Ruru? That's cool. I'm gonna have Overshade Shadow roll a d20 for his attack roll. And then I'll also have We Are Farius to also roll an attack roll. And whoever gets the highest, I guess, wins. Where they're the judge, we need order in the council. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna start with Overshade. I'm gonna roll a d20. I need to get rid of this. Okay, I'm gonna roll a d20. Overshade got 5. The level 1 PvP. We go unconscious after 1 hit. Let's go. Okay. So I got 5 for Overshade. We're all measly senators. Our AC is 10. Okay, we'll go by AC. So Overshade misses. How much HP should they have, Ruru? They are measly senators. 5. Okay, yeah, 5 HP. We'll roll a D4, I guess, to decide. Regular human. I see. Get rid of that. Next, we'll do roll for Farius. He's a Republican. Farius rolls. He gets a 3. He misses. Overshade rolls. Gets a 10. That just hits. So he will do 1 damage. Let me mark that down. If we're actually doing this. He does 1 damage. So Alpharius has 4 HP now. Roll again. Alpharius' roll. He misses, right? Then it's Overshade's turn. They're starting to fight. They're slapping each other. Yeah. Overshade hits. Does 4. Okay. That's 5, right? Am I right? Off my arm. That's the Republican. Okay. That's how I would decide it. Overshade Wells on him. Okay, maybe that's not legitimate. Off my arm. Collapses. Oh, we are furious. Someone help that man. Someone help that Republican. Oh, they must 1v1 Call of Duty. Okay. If they played a game, that'd be fun too. I'd be fine with that. What do we do? I'm gonna maybe bribe the patricians. Sorry, I don't think that was shallow breathing. If he's still alive. Oh no, not the Republican. Anyways. Nefarious, are you okay? Overshade spits on Nefarious. That's mean, Overshade. So he is I guess he's a peasant born. Alright. I'm bribing the patricians just to keep Defiance down. Does anyone else have in his wound? That's disgusting. I mean, it's bruised. You punched him. You bastard, says Ferris. Okay. I got 6 stitches today. Did you really sigh? Jeez. I'm sorry about that. I will get some coffee. Yeah, you can. I'm gonna do this. Patricians, you want less than 15? This will give you your thing. I'll confirm this tax. That way you'll be in range of your thing and people will be happy. Tunnel Dweller. Good day, Your Majesty. We can report that we have found something beneath the Marcher Aqueduct. There is a sickly, pale man living there who hasn't seen sunlight in years. He's been sneaking out to draw those symbols under the cover of darkness. He's saying that the symbols are protective wards to keep the building from harm. I'm not so sure. He seems harmless but completely unhinged, says Just a Casual Businessman. Are you here, or do you need to go get some coffee, Just a Casual Businessman? Overshade says, now to you, Justin. You, Republican. Overshade, are you just picking fights with all the Republicans within the chat? Not real Republicans, RP Republicans. People who want a republic within the kingdom. Big Cheese, clearly harmless. Let him do his thing. Back. Okay, awesome. Gets off from the floor and walks out of the hall. Nefarious is leaving. He's had enough. Harmless? It's evil magic, that's what it is. This warlock can only be cleansed with fire. Okay. So, throw that symbol obsessed fool into the jail. He's harmless, let him get on with it. Very stability roll, probably not great. We can burn the warlock, which will raise faith and raise authority. What are you guys thinking? Riri, do you have an opinion? Evershade says, go see. We might have to burn the warlock. Mutters, I will have my revenge. Barry says, fire it is! Being on flashbacks to werewolf ending. Sad. Yeah, ooh. B for me, says Big Cheese. It's harmless. Yeah, there's a 60% chance that he's not harmless, though. Be nice to him, says Otter. We can try B and see what the symbols do. He's just hanging out. I hope he is, and not turning the tower into like some sentient being or something. The warlock can do magic, it seems like it. Rue says, have faith, vote C. If you guys vote C, I want money for it. Oh no, that'll put the patricians out, and I want the patricians to have a chance. I'll just let you vote. I have no opinion on this. He's painting some silly stuff. Shizo posting. Big Cheese is voting B. Over Casual Businessman. Just a Casual Businessman is going B. Justinian's going A. Otter's going B. Sai and Ruru and Overshade are going C. Alfarius comes back to the hall barely conscious. He walks over to his seat. He says, F you, Overshade. Combo Lurker votes B. And okay. Cares about the peasant drawings. C it is. I guess I'll continue this. Do we have another voter? We have 18 nobles. That's the most nobles I've ever had. Anyone else with an opinion? We are Afarius. He got back into his seat and voted for B. Just to go against Overshade, I guess. We'll click continue then. Despite the High Inquisitor's protest, you put the Marcher Aqueduct out of your mind. So did the peasants. Indeed, the artistry of the symbols becomes well known across the march, drawing tourists and admirers. Trade within the march is now a monopoly, and we succeeded on that. Sigh. The spite vote wins the end. Yeah. Ferris is like, shut the hell up, you tyrant. No, just shut up, you tyrant, to Overshade. War with Ashmead, we'll see. Baron Oshini. Bad news, my liege. We just received a message from the Ashmedian ambassador, accompanied by a severed raven's head. The Empire has declared war on us. Why the raven's head? Some ancient Ashmedian tradition. Okay, so sending a beheaded raven, I guess, or a raven's head for war. Looks like we need protection, and I have a militia that can protect us at Justinian. The Ashmedian Empire's golden age is long behind it. They're still bigger than us, with more soldiers and a long history of conquest, but they lack discipline and are plagued by infighting. Fortunately, the kingdom's armies have not looked so formidable in such a long time. I think we can win this. I have a high standing in the army of the march, says Overshade. He does. Ride down those Ashmedians. Also, it's your turn to invest in the kingdom's faith. The silence in your contributions to the church is overwhelming. Oh, to Overshade? Overshade, you need more faith. Justinian says, we get cursed to help. Okay. News of the war inspires a wave of patriotic fervor across the kingdom. Old knights come out of retirement, naive youth stampede to join the army. Hopefully it'll prove enough. So the coast's military is now terrifying. The march can't go any higher, and the military in the east is now terrifying. Here's Oceania. Rest assured, my liege, you'll have our full support in this war. What's our opening gambit? So we can build defenses across the march on the march border. We don't need to do that. Send assassins to Subtur and Ashmead. I don't like that 40%. Desperately sue for peace. B and C don't sound good. A doesn't do really anything, so I think we have to go A. Bevor. Funny enough. Sorry, Rue. You know I can't say words. And I, in fact, have the biggest amount of men-at-arms in the whole kingdom, Gamba. What could go wrong, says Sai. If the assassins fail, what happens? They just die outright? Of the builder shrug. Do we want to do gamble, or do we just want to do like the non-consequence A? I'm kind of feeling for the non-consequence A. I don't want to take chances right now. Not against the Ashmedians. They'll XCOM you to death. I'll do an A, or golden choice on A for y'all. B is a roll. True. These are petty squabbles, you insolent dunces, and focus on the war. Dunces. Not dunces. Seems like we're going A for that golden choice. We just have so much military. We'll just be over-prepared. I'll oversee the building of our fortifications. The Empire is mobilizing only a fraction of its strength. If we bloody their noses, they might decide we're more trouble than it's worth. Yeah. Regrettably agree with the Republican Justinian. Scepter of Sages. Your Majesty, I have the most exciting news. Our hired adventurers have discovered an ancient manuscript hidden beneath the mountains. It speaks of the Scepter of Sages, and it was written by the Queen Alma herself. Worried about what happened to the kingdom after she died, she hid the Scepter of Sages so her enemies couldn't find it. Good work, treasure. It's in the Warren of Caves, within the Blackweed Forest, Your Majesty, near the capital. It's been under our noses the whole time. The fairy says you are the most corrupt, tyrannical, greedy noble I've ever seen over Shade Shadow. It's a fairy, yes. Taking the liberty of sending out more adventurers. Excellent. way, as you wish, Your Majesty. The adventurers return. The treasurer comes to tell you the news. Have they found anything? Most delightful news, Majesty. The adventurers have found a golden door beneath the forest, which matches the description of Queen Alma's manuscripts. Golden door! Break the hinges and sell it! I've already tried, Your Majesty. But my servants suffered from a horrid wilting curse. I decided to leave well enough alone. Okay. Wait, we need to crush the Ashmeads. Yeah, we do. But I think I might just get the Scepter of Sages. Scepter of Sages can be found only by a monarch whose strong purpose and true of heart. Okay. That's me! Indeed, Your Majesty, I am sure I agree. But unfortunately, it's not me who decide. Queen Elma wrote a ritual for the monarch to prove themselves worthy of the sun. I don't think I'll get it. I don't think I have enough faith for it. That's me! Alma! Or Leah, yeah. I'm Queen Alma. Oh. You make arrangements, bringing a procession of horses, food, drinks, adventurers, guides, and a little traveling desk for the treasure to the Black-Willed Forest. Oh, goodbye. Oh, Oshina is going. We'll see you, man. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate having you. Everyone say goodbye. Have good army, but Kurthas gunpowder, that is true. The, he was replaced, or they were replaced by King Israel, the main character, too. Hey, it's good to have you, King Israel. Welcome back, main character. Sheena, it's good having you. Your spouse comes too, riding beside you. Overshade says, I am as good as the leader of the Marcher army. Okay, Overshade. Good day for that. I just hope the scepter thing's all it's cracked up to be. Adventurers lead you inside the cave, holding flaming torches to light the way. Soon the tunnel grows horribly cramped, and you bend double to squeeze through. It's all very jolly, no time like the present. Let's go. Well, for what feels like hours, just as you might have lost hope, you reach the golden door, exactly as the adventurers described. It will open only for the faithful. Close your eyes and your Majesty and concentrate. I have a 30% chance of it. Which is not great. King Israel says, what did I miss so far? I was doing laundry today. Oh, you were doing laundry? Not much. XCOM moment. I hope it's a reverse XCOM moment. I get the low chance. The low chance, that's a good chance. Have faith, says Ruru. You focus scatters and you open your eyes. Sadly, I lost. Don't worry, Your Majesty. Maybe if we go back to the palace and pray for guidance. Yeah. We'll just have to do some Ashmeadan war. It's alright. Return to the surface more quickly than you descended, blinking away tears in the sudden sunlight. To improve your chances of victory, focus on increasing the kingdom's faith as much as possible for the next 2 siege engines. The challenge will decrease in difficulty with each failed attempt. I didn't really want to go for a win for myself this time. I wanted the Marchers to win. Overshade says, deep breath. Let's set this feud aside for now. We are Alfarius. That is indeed. Okay, so Overshade and Alfarius are making up. That's nice. I appreciate you guys coming and uniting against the Ashmeadians. Fireworks. In the dingy seaside tavern, 2 patricians of the coast meet to plot their latest scheme. The treasury is practically empty, says Otter of Valinor. The queen is struggling to fund her ambitions. We're perfectly placed to offer her a loan. Oh, more money? So helpful for us, says Nonu. Indeed, these loan agreements will be as friendly as a bear trap. Absolutely loaded with hidden catches in the small print. Now watch me work my magic. Most wise, we are at war. After all, yeah, that is true. It says no quarter to the Republicans or Ashmeadians. Curious? Good evening, noble patrician. What exactly is your purpose of your meeting, says the treasurer. Here's Otter. I heard about the queen's recent money struggles, or troubles, sorry, and I thought we could both benefit. Sign here and here. This agreement does seem fair. Very well, I'll sign. The queen will be pleased. Good night, noble patrician. May the 9th bless you. The treasury is now 3,450. Otter's wealth has decreased, and other patricians' wealth has decreased. Or not, no news wealth has decreased. Why would we give them a quarter? I like my coins. For now, but let's get back to this war debacle. See, easy as pie, but it's not enough to bankroll the queen. The rest of the kingdom must be into us as well. To advance their scheme, the patricians must have the highest trade of all regions in 3 seasons. Okay. I'm fine with my current laws. Alright, let's do the invasion. Wait. Your Majesty, Ashmenian troops are amassing on the Marcher border. The armies of the counts and patricians are marching, but not yet in place. For now, only the barons guard our borders, and Ashmead will attack at any moment. The barons can do it. We could order the counts and patricians on a forced march in double speed, but it might exhaust them before they reach battle. Ooh, so this is kind of... Don't worry, the barons can handle this alone. Or we can say the counts and patricians must march through all day and night. Or we can hire the mercenaries to assist the barons. We can hire people. We have the money. Go C? Yeah, I think C would be good. Golden C. What about a Royal Gamble C so it doesn't hit me as hard? Come on. It is. Because I might need some money later on for more war stuff. Royal C. I'm gonna Royal Gamble C. Just so if we do that, I won't be hit as hard. I don't mind paying for it. It's just I don't want it. I need the money just in case we have other stuff we need to spend money on. Hire worthless barbarian. Yeah. They'll get killed. Wonder where the mercenaries come from here. We'll see. I just hope the mercenaries don't do anything bad, you know? Like routing or something. Whenever the Ashmenians get too strong. Secretly pay them off. Yeah. You hire a mercenary outfit named the Steelhearts, whose main qualification is being nearby. Yeah, that makes sense. So we gained some wealth and lost some wealth. So Steelhearts. Well, as long as we have money, the merc should be fine. Okay. Oh, that's good to know. Don't believe those rumors you hear about the untrustworthy, cowardly mercenaries. They're worth every penny. I'm not so sure anymore. Save up the marchers' armies until they are absolutely needed. Okay. Wait anxiously for news. So now we have a 90% chance. As much as I hate to admit it, those Steelhearts came in damn useful. Okay, military challenge succeeded! Yeah, that flag is red. Looked dicey at first, but the barons fought like tigers, and the mercs held the line. Against all odds, we held them off. The Ashmedians won't give up that easily, unfortunately. We're safe for now, but there's no doubt gearing up for another assault. We didn't get XCOM'd, so good. We did good. All of this because we didn't want to pay for horses. Or pay more for horses, at least. Pushing for change. What's this? After a particularly long session at council, Khajiit comes to find you in your chambers. Great God, how do you deal with all that talking? When will they do something decisive? I mean, they're typically trying to kill each other, so... Today was pretty, you know, nice. But war is important. Ironically enough, had we lost, I think the Marchers' farming would have gone down. Oh, I see. That's just the way things work. I was thinking, what if we did something to make things better? I want to plant a forest in the march. It'll bring many animals to the area. Imagine the hunts. It'll help with training the troops too, I suppose. That'll raise farming and raise military. Eh. You guys don't want farming. At war? That feels decisive. We have all the military we need. Khajiit is not in on the scheme. Yeah. I think I'm going to have to disagree with him. Barry says, my fellow noblemen, as of now, we need to set aside any quabbles, feuds, or anything against each other and fight for this unholy land. Yeah. I mean, we help you all the time, says King Israel. That's true. Overshade says, fund it fully. You want me to fund it? You want me to fund it fully? Overshade? That's going to increase farming, which you don't want. You want farming 5. We'll scheme another day. Overshade, come on. Don't you want to win? Do it, says Alfarius. I'll be close to bankruptcy. I don't really care about making my spouse happy. I care about the war. I mean, I don't think we have the time to win before you roll. At the moment, just the war. I want the war. We can't do that. Wait, what do you mean? Overshade says fund it. What does funding do for what? What do you... Huh? First, I will not start selling weapons to Ashmedians as they are. Okay. We are at war. Scenes are nothing, says Alfarius. Can't possibly do that. C, says Ruru. I'm fine with C. Yeah, we can't possibly do that at the moment. I mean, I want to put a force in the march, but you don't really need it. Just a casual businessman says we need food for our soldiers. Rashid says smiley, not smiley. We can do it then. They already have 10, so yeah, they do have 10 military. This will also raise your farming. You just want a forced over shade? Is that what you want? B is the middle ground. That's just raising their farming, which would be like completely against their thing. B, says King Israel. It will go against my scheme to do nothing with military. Yeah. We can't possibly do that. Great God, really? What was the point of being queen in a royal concert? Sorry, leave your chambers. That's just how it is. Curious curse. Giant glass globe filled with the brim of murky water is wheeled before the council. A fishbowl contains Lady Patrician Caradero. Suspended in the liquid, she pokes her head above the surface. What is that? What? You becoming a fish person? Your Serene Highness, Glub Glub. A most infuriating circumstance has befallen me, Glub Glub. I can see that. You've become fish. Fish. At least know that man's loyal. He is loyal. Justinian says, an ancestor of mine got my region to have elections by voting for the whole thing by patent. Starting a revolt at the court. Oh, I see. Agreeing with oversheet out of it. Acting fishy of lately. Kedra has left. Yeah, I think Kedra has left. Wizard shenanigans. Oh, maybe. I prefer patriotism of the scheme. Overshade. That is. I do like that. But how did you? Oh shoot! I should have read. Happen to own tannery that is Glub Glub, polluting some picturesque beaches he likes. How was I supposed to glubbing? No. I demand you arrest this maniac and force him to glub. Remove these gills. We can send a squad of coastal soldiers to arrest the wizard responsible. Send a diplomat to politely ask the wizard to reverse the curse. Close down Lady Patrician's Cutterose tannery, or send the wizard a hamper of fine cheeses and a bottle of wine. What do you guys want? The girl says, I'm one for chaos and fun. I am full patriot, says Overshade. Okay, I understand you're a full patriot, Overshade, and I appreciate that. But I need the money. Patriot to both the march and to the kingdom. Overshade is a good guy. You wanna talk to the wizard? I do golden choice on the ask the wizard. Well, maybe sending him a gift would be nice. We must focus on our patriotism and our nation's victory at all costs. Smashes his desk in half. Ah, Furious is on Overshade's page. The march was the start of the kingdom. Let's do D, says King Israel. Give difficulty. Yeah, I think D. So I'm with everyone on D. Let's send the wizard some fine cheese and stuff and wine. I'm backing Overshade, says a Furious. Man, Overshade, how'd you get him on your side? The Furious is pretty cool. I would unfish someone if they gave me cheese and wine. Yeah, please unfish him. Or maybe he's gonna take it as an insult. Be like, you destroy my beaches and stuff, and you just expect me to ignore it by giving me wine. We agreed to squabble later, says Overshade. I understand. You guys are doing good. How glub dare you, says Credo. Well, you're not here, okay? From then on, Lady Patrician Credo remains confined to her aquarium. The sight of the great glass globe and its globeling occupant in the council hall quickly becomes unremarkable. That's so we have a fish noble. Perhaps he'll take it as encouragement. Oh, maybe Big Cheese. Well, oh well. I mean, maybe we'll hear back from that. Okay. The march in the east are close to their goal, or not. The coast aren't really. 15 or less, 16. Yeah, they're not really. The march are the closest ones. Patricians need the highest trade in 2 seasons. that's not really happening. So the March are the closest. Remember, Pat's traders get the axe. I think every trader gets the axe. Will her become Finfolk? Maybe. I can give everyone a crate if you want. We are Afarius. Be a Ferris, says to King Israel. Sure, I just need some wine. He says, I'm also down with giving a Pat some more feasible window to win with Defiance. Yeah. Board Royal. Gotcha. God Zunks, I can't believe my project didn't happen. I don't want to be a figurehead. That's not what I want in this march, and that's not what I want to be now. I'll give you some funds for some charity work. Rescue some animals and adopt them as pets. Your royal consort being a figurehead is your job. I want him to be happy. Everyone some wine for the war. Thank you, King Israel. Main character. Helping us out. I guess we can up authority. Rescue some animals and adopt them as pets. Go stab. What? All I have is beer and schnapps. Stability is better. Yeah, we can do stability. Go stab, I see. A stability. I mean, better pets than good money. Yeah, we can go stability. Thank you. You don't know how much this means to me. From that point on, Kalja spends all their waking hours distributing alms to the needy in the capital. They frequently come home late, exhausted and muddy, but beaming a smile. Oh, I'm glad you're happy. All folks are delighted with your spouse's charitable work, showering the palace with more letters and gifts. Wait, does that mean you're helping the peasants? I don't care for that. Okay. Golem Assault. We'll do the Golem Assault, but for my ambition. Tavanizi Vintage. Very good choice. Thank you, King. Here's Combo Lurker. Your Majesty, the Ashmeans have begun their second assault on our border, and this time they brought golems. Golems? Oh dear. A golem is immune to arrows and conventional weaponry. Their fists can crush any armor. The Ashmean built hundreds of them. Our troops have already been forced to retreat, and now the Ashmeans hold miles of marcher territory. What? Why didn't we get a roll? We can dig trenches and set up traps. Scramble the golems' primitive brains. We can hire a wizard to advise on defeating the golems. Should we get a wizard? Ah, yeah, I like wizard. I wonder if it's possible to 100 Ashmead. Maybe. It'd be kind of hard. King Israel says let's go A. Watch out for treasure. I can do a roll gamble on C, and I'd still be good. I think. Don't worry, I know the Drunken Fist. Gamble on C. I detest wizards, but we'll need them, says Evershade. Yeah, I think we'll need wizards. Let's hire a wizard, guys. Yeah, and we'll still be good. We're gonna beat the Ashmeadians. Okay. I used to be a wizard 15 years ago, said King Israel. Yeah. I'm sad that it doesn't carry over. It's so nice to see us all cooperating, and all it took is the horrors of war. Yep, I know. Fair says, checked a whole barrel of wine. Finds Eastern beer. Oh, not wine. That's a lot of beer. The wizards are forbidden from wielding their magic in international conflicts, but with enough coin, they can be persuaded to offer advice. The wizard Gordius, you remember Gordius, guys? Is the first to take you up on the offer. He is a hideous and broken thing carried into your palace aboard a palanquin. Golems are primitive beings, really. No brains, no free will. They're ordered to fight you. They'll follow you to the ends of Celeste Ath. But they're also heavy. Why not lure them into a swamp? Yes, Rock Wizard. I brought him back, yeah. Kill the Marcher. Yeah, true. King Israel did kill a Marcher, but brought him back. The wizard's advice is good as gold, and it proves eminently simple for your troops to lead the relentless golems into a bog which swallows them without trace. Jeez, amazing. Bloody fantastic. The Ashmenians value their golems highly. Their morale's plummeted, and they'll be much more cautious now. Perhaps this humiliation will be enough to persuade them to negotiate. Awesome. Let's see if... I don't think I'll get my ambition. I hope not, because I want this war to go on. I'll pulls over my chair and starts manically laughing out of drunkenness. Okay, Hellfish. You know, drunken magic don't match well together, says King Israel. Gordius was turned into a statue that could feel but not talk, and move by some other wizards. Broke free of his curse thanks to his magical power. Oh, okay, that's cool. Gordius is cool. With the treasure and your adventurers in tow, you return to the cave door. Overshade drinks a whole ton of wine in celebration and is still sober. Man, Overshade. Your spouse Kaja walks to your side. Will only open for the faithful. Close your eyes, your majesty. Concentrate. I don't want to do this. Okay, 50%. Come on. You focus scatters and you open your eyes. Okay, good. 50% of the time we pray every time. Lungs of steel. Uses fire magic while it's drunk. Almost destroys the entire building. A fairy, stop, please. Don't worry, your majesty. Maybe if we go back in the palace and pray for guidance. Eating strawberry cheesecake. Ooh, yummy. Let's defeat Ashmedian. Yeah, we do. Our king doesn't win. I win. I want lore. I want fun, like, antics over winning. You return to your surface far more quickly than you descend, blinking away the tears in the sunlight. Liver of steel, I meant. I see. To improve your chances of victory, focus on increasing the kingdom's faith as much as possible in the next 2 seasons. The challenge will decrease in difficulty with each failed attempt. Okay. Alright. I want more war. Alright, what do you guys want? We can increase stability. We can increase authority with the monument. Stability with library monument. Faith doesn't... don't care. Deer Park lowers farming, which is good. So, you guys want that. Excuse me. Elfie says, hiccups. Haha, Fargo, boom. He's drunk. The one. I mean, you can have the Pats Rebel, so you can't win and hold your goal. Yeah, we could. Do they still participate in the war if they're rebelling, though? I don't know if they do. Baron, save your money. Silver Shade. Increase trade, lower authority. You guys are up on this. You can fund a deer park, which is what the counts and what the barons should want. But Overshade says no, they do not. Overshade doesn't want to win. What the heck? Psy funds 69 nice on E. So he was good. He wants a grand bazaar. Justinian puts 100 on E for the increased trade. That's true. The patricians want the highest trade, right? Yeah. Stable over Credo, where the nearest beer storage. What? He stumbles over to Credo and he asks, "Where's the nearest beer storage?" Do Pats want to rebel or no? Asks Combo. Israel funds 169 on C. Nice. Ruru also funds 169 on F. Nice. Overstreet Shadow Mean says, I meant if rebels contribute to the war. Oh, okay. Scythe puts 1 on E. Combo Lurker puts 500 on F. Oh, let's see what we got. The theater was funded. The biggest investor was Combo Lurker, putting 500 into it, which will lower the authority. Okay, so they could probably rebel, the patricians. Justinian put 100 into the Grand Bazaar. Get trade up. So you guys are on the verge of rebelling with the patricians. Where is Thy Queen? Rusas. Okay. Let's do Seeking a Truce first. Your Majesty, the Ashmedian ambassador is here. He is keen to negotiate terms of truce. So I keep my money, so a win for me and my cake. Yeah. Justina goes for rebellion. Do you rebel, Pats? They may rebel. We've had enough of this war. What will it take to achieve peace? Oh, wow. You declared war on me. Dude, you wanted this. What do the barons think of this? We've got them on the ropes. Just a casual businessman says, let's march all the way into Ashmead and give them a hiding. Is Peeth worth pursuing, Marshal? The Marshal takes you aside beyond the investor's earshot. The kingdom's armies are stretched to a breaking point, and Ashmead still hasn't shown their true power. We're lucky that Ashmeadian citizens are demanding an end to this war. The Imperial has an endless manpower and servers out. Let's not push our luck. Sounds like a matter of the council. If you value your lives for your citizens, bring this messy affair to an end. Dude. Okay. Bad idea, says Big Cheese. We can force the ambassador to concede land near the march. Oh, that's kind of cool. So we can get land. We can demand Ashmead pay an intense tribute. Be forgiving. No peace. Welcome to Forever War. No. End no, says Alfurius. B, money. No peace, a sigh. I said you want our wives to be used by our armies? Petitions? Oh. Christina says A. King Israel says war forever. Big Cheese says B. I mean, I haven't tried D either. A, B, or D. We've done Forever War before. I think that was the first one, but we didn't win. Forever War makes you lose. Loss. No peace for these barons. I have unpleasant. Overshade says A. Should probably be doing D. Annex the North. A and B. I want to annex, really. I don't really care about the tribute. We can do without money. I want golden choice on A. We want some land. Let's annex. I want war and chaos so bad, says King Israel. I do want some war, but we could probably fight him, but we've lost it before, so I'm fine with A. Take some of that land. And then the second will take the throne. We'll see. I don't know if I will. We're gonna take some of that land. Yummy. Continue. Force the ambassador to concede land near the march. Your chancellor unfurls a scroll so long that it could have comfortably used as a hammock. You and the ambassador both sign the dotted line, and just like that, the war is over. First order of business, of course, is the concessions. The march is given some valuable territory on the Ashmeadian border, full of fertile soil and precious resource. After news of your victory spreads across the kingdom, you're a hero. Even the nobles can't deny that you did a good job. You took on the kingdom's oldest and most powerful enemy and won. Oops, I misclicked the message, sorry. Pats, remember that your wives will get visitors if you rebel. And by Overshade Sana. Hey! Okay. Popcorn beer is good. What? There are still whispers that you should have pressed your advantage. Authority is now tyrannical. Stability is now united. This is now Munis. It's gone down, and the east is now grumbling. We could have taken Ashmead and the capital of the Queen, just had a little more spine, says Big Cheese. Did it really change? I kind of wish it did like have some physical changes or something. That is true. They're rebelling. So Justinian has voted to rebel. Who else is an patrician? I think Sai maybe here? Toby's here. Hey Toby, how are you? Thanks. No, the map doesn't rebel. Royal this fossil on Earth. They can't rebel anymore. Oh right, I see. I have 10 authority. Wonder if given enough time we could take it bit by Ashmead until we actually beat. That'd be cool if so. I hope they do some stuff like that. Here's Sai. Good news, Your Esteemed Highness. The new cathedral is wonderfully popular. We even started expanding the vestry. There is a small problem. While digging more foundations, the builder found bones in the rock. The size of things, the beast they came from must have been larger than the cathedral itself. Wow. How exquisite. They lower their voice. The builders are saying that it might be, you know, a flying reptile. A flying reptile? What do you mean, a flying reptile? Lifts the desk and drinks wine. Atherius, you are drunk. Dragon? What are you saying, King Israel? No one dare says the name of these days. It's been 700 years since a dragon was last seen in the kingdom. And back then it was catastrophic. So 700 years ago there was a dragon. That's cool. Flying lizard. Oh. Let's summon a dragon. Okay. We say, carry on building, who cares about old fossils? Carefully excavate the bones, which will raise trade and raise faith. Don't mess with the dragons, abandon the cathedral entirely. I want to excavate the bones. Right? Okay. I'm gonna veto C. I don't like it. It's gonna lower faith and increase defiance. You guys can do whatever you want. I like B. I like B. B sounds fun. Finally, faith option that isn't too boring, right? Yeah, not being a stick in the mud. Actually doing dragon stuff. I wonder if they'll be magical. Magical dragon bones. Okay. Continue. Isaac's not drunk, says Alfarius. Sure you are. Builders dig the bones from the rock. Soon the huge bones are revealed. As visitors crowd the cathedral, trade picks up. Merchants set up stalls, peddling bootlegged bone relics. Priests call more and more faithful to prayer, citing the bones as proof of the ninth god's power over all creatures. But despite the rise in tourism, some coastal locals are superstitious, treating the bones with fear. Some refuse to approach the building at all. Okay, now it's time for Royal Enthusiasts. Your Majesty, the Royal Consort has amassed a great deal of popularity lately. Sorry. Of course I have. Why wouldn't the commoners like what I've been up to? Gross, you touch peasants. Hundreds of letters have been arriving at the palace. Some of them have been even making needlepoints depicting the two of you. Really? Grimacing, they hold up a momentarily ugly piece of embroidery showing you and your spouse sitting in a castle. You think. Oh, charming. Wait, what are you saying, Big Cheese? There are actually only two genres of high fantasy. Once there was more dragons and more magic in this land, but those days have passed, or perhaps the dragons shall return someday and bring a new era. How the F do we get rid of these effing dragons, right? Yeah, basically. How dare you, Sabers, rather quickly. By the ninth god. What is that? I think it's your hat. Maybe. Look, some of them were even made a replica cornets, like the ones we wore at our wedding. Oh, and a group of my biggest fans want to come tour the palace. What do you think? I'd caution against this idea, Your Highness. A certain distance from the peasantry affords respect for the royal family. Eliminating that distance, well, it could have repercussions. Oh, don't worry so much. So my husband wants to bring peasants into the palace. Wow, the queen has a fan base. My queen's husband. The queen's husband has a fan base. And shippers. Oh, yeah, I guess so. Uh-oh. I'm not drunks in this land. They can throw open the gates. They can tour the palace, which will increase stability. Lower authority. Or, no, I don't want any more people summoned around. If you deals with it, I don't mind. We can afford something. Our kingdom is too stable. The peasants are living it out. Yeah. This will just raise stability of the peasants. And a lower authority. Remember, they used to ship me with the storm. Oh, King, yeah. Squabble back on. You know, if she deals with it. Kaja. I'm calling her she. I don't trust. Oh, true. Yeah. I don't want more people stomping around, really. Very wise, Your Majesty. The nobles will have little reason to gossip this way. Spouse shakes his head with a sigh, but does not argue. That night, when you go to bed, you find hideous embroidery placed on your pillow, along with a note that reads, "A handsome likeness. I thought you would have gained it." That's mean. To them and me. Ah. You have a new wizard in the council yet? No, we refused a wizard, I'm pretty sure. Who was that? Who was going to be turned into a wizard? Forgot. I am the only wizard. Oh yeah, Furious. I think it was a Furious. You believe so much. I think we refused to let Alfurious go. It was a petition. Was it Alfurious? No, it wasn't Alfurious. You're right. It was a petition. Who was it? Nonu? Was it Nonu? Oh, Otter. Sorry. Rebel. You can't rebel, Otter. Yes, they refused me. Okay, I see. So I'm the only wizard here. So what does wizard want? Sitting on a beach outside the Sunbleach Villa, two patricians of the coast meet to plot their latest scheme. Yeah, it was Otter. Okay. I remember now. Here's Otter. Our profits are down. Our companies are being outcompeted by those damn barons of all people. How could this happen? Patrician's aim is to have the highest trade. You're getting close to it. I think if they get 10, they'll be fine. Okay, tax time. If I do that, I'll still be in the green and the patricians will go down. Thanks, says Toby. Oh, is Toby here? What? Guru says, Toby, welcome. Toby's been here, hasn't he? Or was that Toby that was talking? I don't know. Patricia's sitting on the beach, plotting. We are furious. I would like to challenge Otter to a friendly duel with magic versus Blade. Otter can't use magic. He didn't get trained. Or is Alfurious a wizard? King Israel says, I mean, wizard is not here at the moment, so I'm the only wizard who's been traveling around for 15 years. That is true, King Israel. You are the only wizard, technically. I'm pretty sure. I think this is fine. Just to get the patricians a little happy. Barons, make it rich. Fear of bones. Let's do that. Here's Sai. Your Serene Highness, it is the reptile bones. The people are terrified that fire will descend upon the coast. These fools could take matters into their own hands and destroy the cathedral if we're not careful. We can rebury the bones out of sight, out of mind. The patrician should offer the peasants a bribe, or we can move the bones to a coastal vault, which will raise faith, lower stability, and lower defiance. Or we can rebury them, or do something. I don't really want I want the bones, right? We want to put the bones in the vault. Bone vault, says Ruru. Yeah, we can do bone vault. Can we revive dragons? Maybe. I'm not sure. Vault. I'm thinking vault. Monarch's choice on vault. Golden choice. So you'll get money if you choose C, right? It'll increase faith, decrease stability, and decrease defiance. Hold this meeting. The duel is about to begin. Me versus Overshade. What, you guys are fighting again? I guess the war is over, huh? Now we can squabble again. Go back to the status quo. Okay. Got it. Move the bones to a coastal vault. Vast as they are, excavating the bones is no small feat. A long caravan of wagons drags them to a museum, where the curators display the bones in a giant room. They're nervous about showing the dragon bones' real shape, but the beast wingspans spread across the rafters is impossible to hide. Jeez, this is a big dragon. I prefer not, says Overshade. He doesn't want to duel. Various says, who shall swing first? My silk clothes are brand new. He doesn't want to tatter his silk clothes. King Israel says, so I have good back being the main character since the war over? Oh? Huh? I have to go back being the main character since the war is over. Yeah, yes you do. Get your main character pants on. King Israel, the people need you. King Alfera says, draws dual hand. Did Claymore. Okay. Not in the council room, please. Faith is now skeptical. Patricians are grateful to have the matter resolved, but the people are still afraid. They whisper that it's foolish to display the bones so openly. Stability is now steady. Defiance is now insolent in the coast. a ghoulish problem. I don't really care about your clothes, says we Alfarius. Overshade spits in the direction of Alfarius. I guess that means duel time. You throw the glove down onto the floor. Make it real noble. Here's Archbishop. Or throw the glove at the person, right? And then, yeah. Throw your glove. Your Majesty, we are having terrible problems on the coast. The people have lost faith in the God and the churches are being left to crumble. But without priests to perform rites, the dead are rising and ghouls from their abandoned crypts. There's been 9 attacks on this week alone. Dark dude. What's a ghoul? Relentless corpse. Seeking vengeance upon the living, ghouls can be raised by necromancers, but also arise naturally when recently dead body is forgotten by its family and left unattended by priests. We can tell you don't care about clothes, says Otter. King Israel says, I enjoy my freedom traveling around eating cake. Well, King, you gotta become main character. You gotta do your work. Out of the chamber, says Overshade. Overshade leaves. Just a casual businessman has cake. Aren't claymores two-handed? Aren't all claymores two-handed? There could be... I feel like someone could be strong enough to wield a claymore with one hand, right? like a certain Guts character. Tot won't anger me yet. Throws glove onto ground, following Overshade. Okay. Aye, claymores are two-handed, says Overshade. Yep. We must remind coastal folk that they are lost without the knight to protect them, especially once they've passed. Rise back home with my honor guard. Okay. So we can send more priests to the coast, which will raise faith, raise defiance as well. Cremate bodies on the coast instead of burying them. Lower faith, increase stability, lower authority. We can employ ghouls as a cheap source of labor. What do you guys want to do? Ask the main character to hold it, Lil. Sai wants to go D. We can, that's a good... Go A, Smarch. Says Overshade. We can raise more faith. D, so the Pats win, lol. Oh, really? It would increase trade, wouldn't it? I'm gonna do a royal gamble on A, because faith sounds fun. We need more faith, right? Toby says 100% D. Cheap labor equals great. Okay, well, you guys can vote. Patricians want to go D. I think everyone else kind of want to go A. Toby's going D. Rue's going A. Otter's also going D. It'll be the first time the whole kingdom will be closing in 5 out of 10 faith. Yeah. Basically, we had 0 for a good while. Big Cheese and Asai is going D. Is there anyone that wants to break the tie? Justinian goes D. I'm going to lose my money. I'm going to lose 200. That's not fun. Oh, someone else did A. Combo. Do we have anyone else that wants to add to the tie before we continue? I am above petty insults. Darius says Overshade. Combo breaker! Wow! He's here! He did a combo breaker. Good job, combo lurker. Is there no one here? We have 20 nobles. Do we have 10 nobles who are AFK? I don't know. Alright, I'll continue then. I mean, you know what I'm gonna choose. I'm probably gonna go priest and faith, because I need faith for my goal. And also, why not? Hello, old friend, or hello, friend, says King Israel. The undead, a threat? No, I smell opportunity. Vote D, says Big Cheese. I'm gonna go A. I like A bit better. Personally. In my own interest. The patricians are deeply annoyed by the flood of zealous young priests into the coast, preaching on the street corners and shouting the knight's name from the rooftops. Treasury is now 1750, yeah. Knight's now grieved. But it works. The churches are soon full again and the rites are spoken once more. The ghouls resume their eternal slumber. Faith is now dutiful. Afarius says, my fellow noblemen, I have an important announcement. As of now, my stress factors and tiredness has made me unfit to own my lands for now. But I will return, but for now I must go. Okay. Afarius is leaving, I'm pretty sure, so everyone has... Everyone, please say goodbye to Afarius. We enjoyed having him here and adding some RP to the comment section, or I guess chat. We appreciate him, right? Fairly well. It was good to have him. Unfit to rule fits. Oh, that's mean over Shade. Hey, we're at 5 on Faith now. Goodbye, man. Good, but the queen is forcing me to back to the main character again, and I want more cake. No more cake for you, King Israel. You've been eating too much cake. Go be a main character. We'll see you, Afarius. It was good having you. Have a good night. Okay. Last thing to do is Ambition, Scepter of Sages. Be back next stream. Okay. Yeah, we'd love to have you again, Afarius. It's good to have you. Hope you do well. May you return to your peasant stations, says Overshade. There's a rivalry here. Let him eat cake, says Combo Lurker. Needed an apocalypse. The kingdom is too rich. What? Sigh. Eating cake and some wine. Who's gonna stop me, says King Israel. Ah, King Israel. With the treasure and your adventurers in tow, you return to the cave door. Your spouse Katja walks at your side. Will open only for the faithful. Close your eyes, your majesty. Concentrate. I have a 90% chance. Breathe. A bright golden light flares behind your eyes, but you keep your breath steady. See, money, 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 says just a casual businessman. Yeah. He says, I want to see a kingdom where we get tin all over. Oh, that'd be cool. From trade to defiance. From defiance, really? Okay, maybe. We can try to do that. Your door rumble open. When you open your eyes, the tunnel ahead is utterly dark. Even torches do not illuminate it. Full 10 stats everywhere would be dope. We can try to do that. I mean, that is possible since most is high. True. Maybe next stream we'll try to rise everything to 10. Try to get that balancing act in. As soon as you step into the chamber, the torches are snuffed out. A hideous scream echoes from below. The adventurers scrambled into protective stance. The treasurer wails. You crying? Oh, this is awful, dreadful. I should have stayed in my office. It's not so bad. Quite nice when you get out in the fresh air, said Catch. It's hardly fresh. It's stale and horrible. Do we even have enough of it left? Oh, there. Yeah, we can do that, so just catch this man. I did once. I got everything to 10 except farming and grandees. Oh, really? That's cool. Be right back. I have business to attend at home at my bird castle. Alright, Overshade. You going? Farming was at 8. Yep. Farming was high. It's fine. We're meant to be here. Sorry. I'll remain calm. You put out your hands and feel your way along the wall, then your fingers touch something. Could this be it? As you grip the scepter, it glows gold, chasing away the dark shadows of the chamber. It looks like a simple wooden staff, like any peasant might use for walking. The glow is bright as the sun. It's the scepter, your majesty. You've done it. Looks a bit rubbish, though, doesn't it? Oh well, we can always put a bit of paint on it to make it prettier. I can see. First things first, I'll destroy my enemies. First things first, I'm eliminating poverty. First things first, I'm conquering the world. First things first, I need a bath. What do we want to do? Conquer the world, says Ruru. I think the scepter is gonna reject me if I select conquer the world. I think that's not a good idea. That sounds fun. World conqueror is a sigh. Take a bath, says Combo Lurker. Yeah, that seems pretty nice. I think eliminating poverty is the right answer here. Sadly, the boring option. But like, it's the scepter of wisdom, isn't it, or something? Scepter of sages. We want to be a sage. I think sage better take a bath. You're right. Okay. First things first. I need a bath. I absolutely agree. I'm not leaving the palace again for a long time. First, we need to call the nobles and tell them the good news. Bearing the scepter, you make your way through the tunnels and back to the Sunlit Forest. As soon as you return to the capital, you call the nobles to the council hall. Go straight to making the announcement. Treasurer holds a velvet cushion upon which the scepter of sages sits. It looks small and ordinary, but you sense the weight of its history. I called the ninth babe while I was praying today. It's more awkward than you think, says Big Cheese. Hey babe, I've come to pray again. What? How do you mix in babe with the ninth? I am back. My station requires it. Welcome back, Overshade. We got the Scepter of Sages, and then we wanted to go take a bath. Bit of its history. Just strides at your side, waving the nobles cheerfully. Behind you, your heir Amelia II toddles along, hand in hand with his governess. Aw. What's going on, Your August Majesty? Why have we been brought here? I have some good news, guys. Baths for all. Rue says Big Cheese has been hearing too much. Take me to the church. I see. Yeah, good song. Your nobles fall silent as you ascend to your throne and settle yourself comfortably. Queen Amelia has descended to the darkest depths, the Black Whale's forest, and has retrieved the Scepter of Sages. Excited and worried, whispers ripple around the council hall. As bearer of the Scepter of Sages, the queen has sealed her destiny as Queen Amelia the Enlightened. How do we know it's real? It could be any old staff. You pick up the scepter. The scepter begins to glow, bathing the council hall in warm golden light. The nobles gasp and fall silent. Beside you, Amelia II claps his hands in delight. Ooh, yay, funny light. The ability is now serene. Defiance is now aloof, loyal, and loyal. Oh, yeah. Bloody hell, that's amazing. It becomes clear that even the grumpiest of nobles will never dare speak against you while you bear the Scepter of Sages. Finally, you are secure in your throne and your kingdom. Your victory is here, but your future has only begun. All that remained of the Baron's attempt to usurp the crown was a prisoner, deep under the castle, clad in iron mask and shrouded in rumor. Oh, was that my doppelganger or is it someone else? Unable to convince the peasants to act in time, the Count's scheme fizzled into irrelevancy. Perhaps next time they'd take matters into their own hands instead of hinging their plans on the whims of the common folk. The patricians failed to turn the kingdom's debt against it, and the moment has passed. Ever practical, they set about collecting interest and hoarding wealth, waiting for the time to scheme once more. Okay. Backed by the scepter's power, Queen Amelia's rule spanned for another 15 years of peace and stability. A golden age of prosperity swept over the kingdom. In her will, the queen instructed that the scepter be reburied to be claimed only by a worthy successor. GG. Give the queen some cake and wine. Okay, King Israel, we can party. You don't have to be the main character for now. I'll take some cake. Thank you. Overshade says, the march shall be the right of the monarch again. GG. GG, guys. That was fun. So we ruled for 3 years and 9 months. That was a long game. Nobles. The wealthiest noble? Oh, shoot. Overshade Shadow has the most gold again. With 22,200 gold. And King Israel is the poorest noble. 1,600. Party like it's 999? Yeah. Do it again. Travel around the world because they can't pick me, lol. Right arm, right arm? Huh? Kingdom. Okay, here's our next ruler. He looks cool. With authority 10, stability 10, treasury 1700. Okay. We have a lot of good stats. Yeah, look at this. Military, farming, and trade are almost at 10 all the way. We need to get faith up too, though. Rue says, Overshade Shadow has lured me into invest 2 churches alone as he hoarded. Yeah. You invested alone, Ruru. Overshade hoarded. True. King Israel, who do you think you get your food and wine and magic from, lol? Oh, okay. Alright, King Israel. Alright. That was a fun game. We probably don't have enough time for another game for today. So I'll leave another game for tomorrow, I guess, if we stream again. And then we can do maybe 2 games, because this game was long. This is a long game. So I think this will be the end of the stream. There is more to helping the church than funding. We'll be heading out now too. Okay, so Rue's leaving. Everyone say bye to Rue, or I guess bye to all of y'all. Y'all have a great day. You too, Ruru. Thank you. I appreciate it. Fine. I also don't think I have time for another run right now. Take care. Yeah. Take care, Combo Lurker. Thank you for joining us. 3 hours is pretty quick, I would say, for a full game. Really, Overshade. We've done like 2 games in 4 hours a couple times, right? I don't know. This was a long game for me. Maybe for other games it's a bit longer. King Israel. Good day, everyone. Yeah, thank you, Combo Lurker. Justinian has followed. Hey, thank you, Justinian. It's good having y'all. It could take up to 5 hours. You're kidding me. That's amazing. Hey, see you, Overshade Shadow. It's good having you. Alright. Let me see if I can't raid a channel, actually. Is there any other people playing King of the Castle? King of the Castle. Sweet Pea. Maybe them. Let's see what these are doing. Yeah, let's start raid. Okay. Go into there. We'll raid Sweet Pea. Oh yeah, we're gonna do some. I'll make the Discord real quick. I'll see y'all, and I'll do that too. Sorry. Okay.